Oh yeah, it's about that time when two men come together and get heated in a fun yet non-sexual way. So sit back, relax, adjust that tracking, don't be kind, fuck that rewind. It's time for the Video Store Bad Boys podcast.
Yeah, boy.
Does Tom Cruise tighten his ass when he gets in the sprint mode?
I saw Species. I was traumatized when I saw the second one, and he choked this woman on his dick. He was like, yeah.
I got a lighter, I got no badge, what am I supposed to do here?
Who
the fuck are you? 1, 2, food's not coming for you.
3, 4, no food no more. 5, 6, you're gonna become a stick. 7, 8, you wish you ate.
9, 10, you'll never eat food again. So, titties.
Titties in action. Go together like peanut butter and jelly.
And now, your video store bad boys, David Coy and John Kent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Video Store Bad Boys podcast. How y'all doing? Welcome to the video store. We are your hosts. The man across from me is Mr. David Coy.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Good to hear. It's good to be here. Let's do this, bad boy. Yeah.
Ooh, sexy. And I am John Kent. We are your hosts. We are here. We are the Video Store Bad Boys, coming to you from our very own video store. So what's that mean? Who the hell are we? David, tell them why we are the Video Store Bad Boys.
So, as everybody, we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to say that, one, we are fans of movies. We love movies. We love watching movies. We love discussing movies. Not just any movies. I would say all movies. We love the good, the bad, the awkward, the ones that make you uncomfortable at night, the ones that scare you at night. We are fans of all of them. We like to watch them. Even if they are bad, we at least want to get our opinions. Like, you know what? This movie was horrible. Why did I watch this? Why? Because we like movies that much.
That's right. Bad movies need love too. And we love them all. And we are fans of physical media. And we promote that on this podcast. We are all about it. And our love of video stores. And they meant the world to me. David Coy across from me loves them too. David, what do video stores mean to you? And why do we need them in the world?
It's just something about them. I would say I just love just the physical media of it. It's just the feel of going in and just like, what movie do I want to watch today? Not even just movies, just the fact. Remember, you can rent video games, Blockbuster, and stuff like that. It's not just you can rent video games, movies. I guess now we got Netflix and all, but it's something about having those physical copies. You know what I mean? Because also, as much as I love streaming, it's perfect. It's great. I get to watch them from my couch, from my room, my bed, even from the toilet if I want to. I can watch them wherever. But something about having a physical copy, like nowadays, sometimes, as much as everything's on streaming, you might have that one movie that you love to watch that's not on streaming.
That's right.
Dealing with all the politics of the rights and who owns it. You know what? As consumers, we don't care about that. We just want to watch a movie. That's what we want to do. We just want to watch a movie. And sometimes you can't do that with streaming. That's why physical media is still there. Because let me tell you, when I want to watch Tropic Thunder, I go right to my DVD collection bookcase, open it up, pop that DVD in, and I'm good to go. Because right now, I don't think it's on any medium. I don't think it's on Netflix, Hulu, none of those. And you know why, John? I love that movie. So not to be able to watch that when I want to on streaming from the comfort of my toilet seat gets me upset.
As you should be upset, David. Tropic Thunder is a goddamn treasure. But you know why it's not on streaming? Because it's too offensive. And let me tell you something right now, folks. Before we go a step further, we are going to talk about everything here. We're going to get angry. We're going to get heated. But it all comes from a loving, wonderful place. There's no maliciousness here. We're going to joke about everything. Nothing is off limits. No movie is safe. None will be spared or shown mercy. But remember, we love you all. We welcome everyone to the video store. So don't get all butthurt and offended. This is what's destroying a lot of things. And that's why you can't watch Tropic Thunder anywhere. And it should be watched. It's a masterpiece of comedy. It's an amazing performance by Robert Downey Jr. And it's fucking hilarious. But yes, David makes a valid, wonderful point. These streaming services, David, get me insane. The way they jumble movies around, one day it's on Netflix, then it's not, then it's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free today, then a week from now, nope, now you got to pay for it. Fuck that bullshit. When it comes down to it, yeah, say it again.
Fuck it.
Thank you. Now, when it comes down to it, kids, let's talk real. Let's get real now. Is it really look that great streaming? Not really. Don't lie to me. Don't tell me you haven't had pixelation. Don't tell me your internet hasn't been a fuckhole to you every now and again and kicked you off and whatever, blah, blah, blah. DVDs and Blu-ray, you never have that problem, especially with Blu-ray or even 4K. The picture and sound are superior. And you have that beautiful piece of physical media like we talked about. If you're a movie lover, the tangibility of having that copy in your hands, especially special editions, steel books, well, we'll get into that. We love our steel books.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes. But when it comes down to it, that physical copy is great. You don't have to worry about the internet. You pop it in and you immerse yourself in it. And the special features are fun. You can learn so much from commentary, especially if you want to be filmmakers, like we are also aspiring filmmakers. We will get into that shortly. But hey, in the end, it all comes down to the library of physical media is a beautiful thing. It's great. It looks great on a shelf. It truly, to me, solidifies that you are a movie collector. Because again, when the shit goes down and the zombie apocalypse comes or God knows what, and the internet goes down the toilet where it belongs, except for those that listen to us. You can stay with us, please. Hey, it's going to come down to the physical media. And it's great. We are rabid collectors. We're addicted. And you are going to enjoy our addictions. And we're going to get everyone on board. And before you know it, physical media is going to come back. Probably not, but hey, we're still standing strong.
And also, I just thought about it too. Since streaming is so popular, all you need is a power outage or anything just to knock out that Wi-Fi, and you are done.
You're fucked. You're fucked.
Yes, you don't got that internet service. Shit out of luck. But at least with the DVDs, hard copy, you can at least still put that in as long as you got power in your house.
Amen. Amen, brother. See, you speak so well. And that's just it. So, yes, we love physical media. And about us a little more, we are friends. We've been friends for 6 years. Movies brought us together. Gentleman across from me is a film school graduate. I am a film school reject. We will explain more about that. Eventually, we are going to make films, put our money where our mouth is. We try not to, I think everybody critiques films without meaning to or not meaning to. Like I said, but it all comes from love. Even when we're pissed off, we love this shit. So,
yes.
Is there anything else we should tell them about us before we go any further, David?
I think we covered all the bases. Everything that needs to be covered, everything that needs to be said. Let's get right into it. That's, right down to the nitty gritty why we are here.
Amen. So picture us as two guys sitting in a video store talking about everything that we are obsessed with. Movies, TV shows, video games. The holy trinity of life. It's all you need.
Yes.
That and really good wings. Pretty much, right?
Oh, God. I love wings.
So do I. But
I'm just going to turn into a chicken.
All right, but just be warned, I'm probably going to hunt you down.
You're never going to catch me. You're wasting your time.
But my question for you is, before we go any further, I think we have to get this discussion out of the way. It's very brief.
Yes.
Your buffalo wings, David, do you prefer them with, like, the buffalo sauce just drenched all over it, or chicken wings with the hot sauce on the side?
Well, my thing is, I think, well, one, it's funny because how you worded it is pretty much how it is. It's like buffalo wings are wings, with the sauce on them, and chicken wings with them on the side hot sauce. That's not even buffalo wings. That's just chicken with hot sauce. Now,
exactly.
It counts as wings with the sauce on it. Because you have different flavors now. You have different sauce types. Yeah. So it's not buffalo wings if there's hot sauce on the side. That doesn't count. That's just chicken and hot sauce. Even if you had buffalo wings with hot sauce on the side, it's not the same. It's like, no, you got to make that distinction. It's like chicken, right, with hot sauce on the side. I feel like chicken with hot sauce on the side should be standard anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
But don't call that call that buffalo wings. Okay, because I can do that from my kitchen right now. I can get some wings and have some hot sauce on the side. That's pretty much all you're doing. You better have that hot. Don't even. You know what? And we can tell when it's hot sauce. Don't drench it in hot sauce and just to try and
that's
make
not
it seem
buffalo.
like that's hot sauce or buffalo. No, that's just chicken wings with hot sauce on it.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's
Bullshit.
Get it out of here. And don't
Yeah.
tell me it's buffalo wings. Because listen, you know this. When you're craving buffalo wings, it's a very specific craving. It is. And you have an expectation. You want the saucy, meaty fucking wings just drenched with bring the heat, bring the blue cheese, get the ranch out of this house and sit down and devour. When you give me that container and it's just chicken wings with hot sauce on the side, I get sad, David. I'm not afraid to admit my emotions. I get sad.
You better than me because I get angry. I'm like, what
know
the
you
fuck
do.
is this?
There's something you all need to know about the man. Crush me. He is one of the most humble, sweetest men I've ever met. I have never really seen you yell at anybody. But he has a button, kids. There is a button in him that will be, if it's pushed, he gets scary. And that is, don't fuck with his food.
Do not fuck with my food.
He is kept a delivery man hostage. I will tell that story at some point. That's a teaser. He made a delivery guy come back to deliver 1 can of soda. This is all true, and we'll get into that later. There's a teaser, kids. This is why you come back. We have many, many crazy stories between us. Also, side note, aside from being obsessed with film and video stores, we are also con junkies. We have been to multiple conventions of horror and comic books. We will get into those stories, who we've met, all that great shit. So again, if you're into movies, TV shows, video games, Comic-Con, whatever, everything that an obsessed collector's into, you're home now, okay? Pants are optional. Have a seat. Everybody's welcome. I don't give a shit who you are, what you're into. Just don't get offended and come here to have a good time. Deal?
Deal.
All
I mean,
right.
if you guys do get offended, sounds like a personal problem. Nothing we can do about it. But we would do our best to not care if you get offended.
That's right. We don't give a fuck. So this is run by... See that beautiful voice? You can't even get offended now. You are so uplifted by the beautiful majesty of that man's voice, you don't care about anything anymore. You just got a piece of heaven. You're welcome. But seriously, in all honesty, come on. Don't take life seriously. It's short. Uh-oh. And there he is, kids. We were trying to keep him quiet. That is our video store guard dog. That is Prince. He actually stunt doubled Cujo in the movie Cujo. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes, he was a
Prince
stunt
is
double.
a vicious dog.
It's just angry. Never met a dog so angry.
Yep. And when we lock up at night, we just let him loose. And so if you even step foot in here, God help you. Like I said, there was supposedly, we did have a robbery once, but no one ever saw that dude again. I can neither confirm or deny that Prince was responsible, but watch your ass.
Yes, watch it, because Prince is there. He will, he's just...
That's your ass, Mr. Thief. All right, enough of the nonsense. Let's get into why they came here. We're going to get into the news of movies, TV shows, all that stuff, and we are going to start off with video games that are now being made into movies. There is one in particular that the trailer dropped last week, and holy shit, it is Mortal Kombat!
Excellent. Johnny Cage, Sonya, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Reptile, Mortal Kombat. It's like you can't help but do that. You can't help but do that.
Yeah.
It's Mortal Kombat.
It is. We are now on the dawn of a new film that is going to be hitting HBO Max and theaters on April 16th, which is just a short time away. This has been in the works for a while now. It was definitely COVID affected the timing of it. James Wan behind it. We really didn't know much about it, but then in the recent months, we got some photos, and then a long awaited trailer finally hit. What do you think?
I love it. I almost wish I knew more about it. You know I love spoilers. I want to know more.
This is true. There's something I have to get out the way.
Yes.
You are horrendous at being a spoiler. This man reads Wikipedia and finds everything out, and then he'll sit next to you, and it could be like, hey, I'm gonna go see Titanic. Oh yeah, it's crazy how when Leonardo DiCaprio dies at the end, and you're like, hey, I haven't seen that yet. Oh, you didn't see it? Oh, my fault. I use that as an obvious thing that I think everybody pretty much knows by now. If you don't, spoilers. But yes, he's the worst with that. So right now, the fact that he can't know, it's killing him.
I know. I want to know more, but it's just like it looks so amazing.
It does. It does. I will give it some highlight. I mean, first of all, let's go to the history for a bit. Original movie came out in 1995, so it has been a minute since and then you had the follow-up, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Both are very cheesy. Second one cheesier than the first, but the first one, I think it remains up until right now, arguably the best video game adaptation. But it's a product of its time, so the graphics really hurt it. Definitely those graphics. There's
but
some
it was
cheesiness
still
there.
it was still so entertaining, and it was PG-13 at that.
Right. And it was. They went PG-13. Originally, I think they were aiming for an R. That's why you really don't get many fatalities. But they wanted that PG-13 audience because at the time, when Mortal Kombat hit arcades and everything, the demographic was that of teenagers. So I get what they did. It's still very satisfying. The fighting is off the fucking walls, with the exception of a couple fights in it. They're all amazing. The highlight to me always being Scorpion versus Johnny Cage, where Scorpion kicks the fucking shit out of him.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
You felt that kick when he did that, too. You was like, ooh.
Yeah. But the problem, though, is when that Scorpion said, get over here and get down here, it was actually the man that created the game doing the voice, that did the voice in the game. But now, to sort of dissect the trailer, let's get into the new one. One of the things that struck me, I was loving all of it until I heard Scorpion say, get over here, and it didn't quite...
Yeah, it wasn't like menacing, or just like, it's like as soon as you heard it out his mouth, I felt there was like a collective, what was that?
Yeah.
Like just collective, just like, what? Like that, and the fact that they didn't have the original. It's like, I get it, you try to make your own movie, but just that soundtrack, as soon as you hear it, Mortal Kombat, it's like,
Absolutely. It should be like the Star Wars theme. It should be a no-brainer. Throw that in. It has to be in there, okay? It's you need it in there. The fact that it wasn't there I was like you, like, come on, man.
Yeah, you could have given us just a little bit.
But you think they're saving it for the actual film? You think it'll be there?
I hope so. Because if they do, that would make my day.
But yeah, that was absent, and another thing that was absent was a major character by the name of Johnny Cage. Your thoughts, David?
Yeah, I don't know. Because we're so used to Johnny Cage being like, I would equate that to being, it's like the trinity of the Justice League. It's like you have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. It's like, you gotta have Johnny Cage in there because he's one of the original characters. So for him not being there, it's like, wait, what? What? No.
Right. And there is theories going around all over the place. I personally think he's going to pop up at the end, maybe in a post-credits or at the very end, and he's going to set up the sequel, that he's going to be in part 2. That's my theory. But others feel that the mystery character, sort of the guy everyone's looking at, Cole, his name is? Yeah, I think there's all sorts of theories on him. Who some people think he's actually Johnny Cage. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I never thought about that. But I mean, if he is, I don't know, because Johnny Cage just has that. I wouldn't say that he has that type of swagger, but it's like that cocky attitude. Like, you know who I am, Johnny motherfucking Cage. Like, I need that type of energy, and I don't feel like he's not giving me that energy. Maybe he becomes that towards the end, but I just don't see it.
No, me neither, because the character's name is Cole Young. I don't see him just spinning around and being like, I'm actually Johnny Cage. Yeah, he doesn't have the swagger, the attitude. The original Johnny Cage from the game was based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. as in Bloodsport. When they made the original film in 1995, he was supposed to play Johnny Cage, which obviously he should have, but instead he said no to go do Street Fighter.
And I'm not even mad in a sense because it's Street Fighter. It's not. I'm not mad, but I am mad because we got that iconic.
The final product.
Yeah, the guy as Johnny Cage was actually really good. He played the shit out of him, so I'm not even mad.
He did. But yeah, but then you see an example of Street Fighter is just one of the many video game adaptations, especially in the 90s. There was a few attempts. There was Mario Brothers, and you had, of course, Mortal Kombat. You had Street Fighter. Since then, there's been others. There's been King of Fighters. There's been Tekken. I mean, they've thrown their hat in the ring for a few things, and they've been pretty terrible. I think it's safe to say. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. When you told me about King of Fighters and how what they did to that, I was like, dude, what?
Dude, you want to talk about, in this time of everybody bitching about racism and all, in the movie King of Fighters, which I think you and I are probably one of 3 people that saw it, there's a little issue that, it came out in 2009. I believe it was released in 2010. Now, the problem, and it's so shitty, and it's a shame because you have, on paper you have a cast that is actually, you would think in King of Fighters would be pretty good. You have Ray Park, aka Darth Maul, he's in there. You have Maggie Q. She's been in a ton of things, from Naked Weapon, which is one of the first things I saw her in. She's been on TV shows. She was in Mission Impossible, 3? She's amazing. She'd be great. You also have, and here's the controversy, you have Sean Ferris of Never Back Down as Kaio Kusanagi. And you hear the name, it's a very Asian name, David, isn't it?
Oh, very Asian.
Yeah. So they pass a white guy off as being Asian, which, you want to do that? It's been done. Probably not the best move, but okay. But where my hands went up, David, is when they show him as a kid. They have an Asian kid playing him when he's young. They're going to confuse the shit out of me. I'm like, wait, that's supposed to be him?
I was like, wait, I need answers. This doesn't make sense. How do you become Asian as a kid but then white as an adult? What is going on here?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, because Sean Ferris kind of looks a little bit like me sometimes, like Tom Cruise. He kind of resembles him.
He could be Tom Cruise's little cousin.
Yeah, so picture Tom Cruise with a headband on, right? And then they show him as a kid, and he's Data from the Goonies. Like, what?
It's like a double take. You like, excuse me?
That's supposed to be him? This is wrong. Like, you couldn't find somebody who's Asian to pull this off? Like, I don't feel good. And I'm not easily offended. And even I was like, this is fucked up. Like,
yeah, it's like, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, so that there's a bunch of bad. However, behind Mortal Kombat, not Mortal Kombat Annihilation, that had a ton of problems, unfortunately. But behind that, what would you consider to be, do you consider Mortal Kombat to be number 1? Like, best video game adaptation?
The best film adaptation of a movie or of a game?
Yeah, like of a video game. Yeah.
Of another one?
No. I mean, do you think Mortal Kombat's number 1 as of right now? I'm saying.
Oh yes, of course, yes, no doubt. As much, even though it was like, it had its issues, it was like at least a decent movie. It was like, yo, this is a really good movie. Like, I can sit back and watch it numerous times because it is quite entertaining.
Exactly, it's an easy watch. It doesn't ask much of you. Very easy to follow, and you can pick it apart. Like I said, the '90s cheesiness that's out of its hands. It's very easy to pick on it. The terrible CGI of Reptile. They really went ballsy with Goro, making him like animatronic, and it was very expensive effect. Required multiple puppeteers, and at times it works, but there's times it doesn't work. Like when you go back and watch that, he doesn't age well.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it adds to that aesthetic of the movie. That what makes,
Yes.
like you said, it's bad, but it still adds to it. It's like, ah,
Mhm.
I can still rock with it. It's like it's not like how some graphics are. You just like, you just more just like, okay, I'm good with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But all in all, it's so entertaining. The soundtrack rocks. The fighting is great. The casting is great. I mean, my only issue is really with Miss Veronica Vaughn from Billy Madison as Sonya Blade. I mean, she really doesn't fight very well. Um, but
Yeah,
for how badass Sonya Blade is, I really was kind of like, I mean, she came literally. It was supposed to be Cameron Diaz, um, from Charlie. You know, she came off Charlie's Angels. She showed she could do some kicking and stuff.
mm-hmm.
So they threw her. I'm sorry. This is before that. I apologize, everyone. Whoa, calm down. All right, 2000 Charlie's Angels. This is before that. Excuse me. This is The Mask. Cameron Diaz. So yeah. So she was training for it, got injured, and then she was replaced.
I think I'm always wondered like if Cameron Diaz was on there, what would happen? Did Cameron Diaz dodge a bullet or?
Mm.
Could have been, elevated the project because you can't even say she dodged a bullet because Mortal Kombat was still a good movie. Like people
Yeah.
still talk about Mortal Kombat. When you think of
Yes.
like Mortal Kombat has a legacy that is endearing, so it's not like she dodged a bullet. It's just like she missed out on an opportunity. But if she did happen to be a part of the movie, I'm curious about what would have happened.
It's true. I mean, Bridget Wilson, by the way, excuse me, I didn't say her name, who plays Sonya Blade. She was Veronica Vaughn in Billy Madison. She played Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter in Last Action Hero. And she, around that time, very, very, very not ugly. And a decent actress, but when it came for the fighting, she just was a little awkward. Because in that movie, what they did brilliantly, they actually cast real martial artists to do the fighting, which to me, I don't care what you train an actor for 6 months for. I mean, you can come out with a really good fight. There's been multiple examples of it working. But when you get a born martial artist who's been doing it for years and years and years, there's just little things where you're like, wow, this is cool. And she sticks out like a sore thumb. So my question to you is, pre-Charlie's Angels, would Cameron Diaz have been better?
I can't even say.
Right?
Maybe there's like a smidge, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't call it.
Neither can I. It's tough. I mean, it's easy. Like I would think, when she's had the training. Okay, let's change it. If she had done Charlie's Angels first, would she have been better as Sonya Blade?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid. But all in all, like I said, the movie, she's forgiven. It's a classic. The only thing that's frustrating is, the other thing that kind of gets me about the original movie is that character, and it drives me nuts because, you very briefly see Jax at the very beginning of the first movie, and he's only in the beginning for a little bit, and then he disappears, and then you're kind of stuck with, then you have Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade. They're mainly the three, but then you're introduced to this black dude, Art. His name is Art. Remember Art?
Wait, Art from? Oh wait, when it was through the club. Wait, I thought that was
no. He was the black dude like competing in Mortal Kombat with them, and he faced off against Sub-Zero.
Oh yeah.
Everybody forgets him.
No, he faced against Goro. Was it Goro?
I'm sorry. Yeah, but what's bullshit is they're like trying to talk him up, like Johnny Cage and Liu Kang. Like Johnny Cage's like, I saw you fight, you were great, and then Liu Kang is like cheering him on. And he's like this secondary character. He's not Jax. He's nobody. But they're tried so hard to like make it look like he was somebody, and then when you finally see him fight, he is annihilated. Yeah, you like that word? I used annihilation.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Thank you. He is just destroyed so easily. So it's like, what was the point of him?
Also, also remember who was he fighting? He's fighting against Goro. Like,
Yeah.
he just like, I think that was his first fight too. He was like, imagine you're just like, yeah, man, I got this, and then you just see Goro. I was like, are you serious?
It's kind of
like
you
couldn't like give me a regular guy.
Yeah.
I would have looked at everybody. I was like, yo, Johnny Cage got to fight all these, not Johnny Cage, Luke King got to fight that one guy. All these people got to fight all these regular people.
Yeah.
I have to fight Goro? What?
Right. And not for anything, it's only because of that fight that Johnny Cage got to see Goro, see him fight, and actually absorb what the hell he is, so that when he does face off with him, at least now he has an idea. Poor Art, he didn't know shit. He just came to this tournament, he was sitting there, he was eating, he was having a good time, and it's like you said, they just fucking threw him to Goro. Like,
yeah. And was the montage of them fighting Goro before that, or was that right after?
God, that's a good. I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I might watch it tonight.
You know what? I think we have to. I think we really have to. But anyway, for those of you at home, hey, you know, do you love it? Do you? Come on, you know you do. But anyway, but let's get into the new one. So we have this cast, and it's really a very good cast. Led, I'm sorry, I can't help it, but the one who steals that damn trailer of this new movie is Sub-Zero.
Oh my god, yes. I know. Yeah, you probably know his name better than me.
I do. His name is Joe Taslim. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I have been in love with this man. I'm a martial arts movie nut. I love this dude. I first saw him though in he was in The Raid. That's where he started, you know, and he's a judo guy, and but he kills it. He's got a great presence. Then in Fast and the Furious 6, if you guys remember, in the airport, Han and Roman fought him and got their asses whipped by him.
Yes, whoop their ass.
Oh, and he plays, and of course he's a reoccurring role on the brilliantly made streaming on HBO Max, Warrior, Bruce Lee's Baby, the show. 2 seasons. There have been 2 seasons now. I think there's obviously a third coming. He's so fucking good on that show. He's just got such an amazing presence, and now to see him as Sub-Zero, he's so badass.
So bad. Like I watched that trailer just to see Sub-Zero.
Oh my god, yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody else looks great. Kano, what do you think of Kano, by the way?
Kano, I like Kano. He makes me laugh. He's probably gonna be the comedic, like, badass when you just like look for him to like keep it entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll probably still be dark, and he just comes to us like in his Australian accent. It's like, wow, that was a bloody good charge right there. Not my best accent. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
I tried.
You hit those brakes right now. You hit them right now, and you take a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something right now. You might have thought for a second, wait a minute, is he really from Australia? I know it was that good, but no. Dear God. But no, my question though is, it looks like there's some role reversal going on here. It looks like Kano's a good guy. It looks like Scorpion's kind of a good guy. Am I wrong?
Well, you know, Kano we all know is a bad guy, so maybe towards the progression of the movie, you know, he might flip sides, or he's not, you know, there for the best intentions.
Oh, like he's playing the double game, like he's pretending to be good, then he's gonna turn around and get him.
Yeah, probably. You know, he's probably gonna be the one that turns on him towards like the end, and like, oh no, just when you thought they was gonna win, Kano's like, nah, psych.
Oh my God, if he says psych like that, do you think he's gonna do the heart rip?
Oh yes. I mean, we saw at the end of the trailer he does do a heart rip, and he's like, Kano wins. Yeah,
it looks like they're really not holding back, and this is where I gotta praise this trailer. I kind of wish they didn't quite show as much, but you know, that's trailers now. But the fatalities look fantastic, and the other standout to me, the part where Jax loses his arms, you actually see it, and I gotta say, Makad Brooks, it's his name. He was Jimmy Olsen on Supergirl. Looks phenomenal as Jax.
Yes. I felt he embodied that. I felt like he was like, yo, I gotta go all in. And I am not disappointed. My man is, you know what? He's so ripped. I'm jealous. I'm just like, yo, I need to get that rip. What?
Well, you look better. But anyway.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. That's how we do here. It's not gay to compliment your friend's physique. Write that down.
Exactly.
Now, but the other one who looks really good as well, Max Huang is the guy, I think his name. Yeah, playing Kung Lao. He looks fantastic.
Yes. Let me see. Kung Lao. Yes. Yeah. That they pick like spot on people who look like they know what they're doing and whatnot.
Yes. Yep. And we have the Black Ranger from the super underrated one-off, Power Rangers movie from just a few years ago.
I'm mad they're rebooting that.
I fucking love.
It wasn't as great as it could have been, but it's like, it reminds me of the same thing in Mortal Kombat. It has potential. Like, I could watch that and be like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah. And it was like an origin story. So the action happened towards the end. They took the Batman Begins route. And it was great. And they had a great cast. And it looked fantastic. It had a beautiful polished look. Even the cheesiness came through in the right way. And I think that should have gone on. I don't think you should be rebooting that. But they're going to, David. Because that's what they do with everything.
With everything.
But anyway, staying back on Mortal Kombat here. I got to say, the guy playing Shang Tsung from The Dark Knight, Chin Han, which when I first saw him with the long hair, for a split second, I'm like, wait a minute, they used the same guy from the movie? Like the original, he kind of looks like him with the long hair, which I thought was nice. It's kind of like a little tiny nod, like little resemblance, but of course, for me, he'll always be the man on the TV in The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because he's been in other movies too. It's just like, I guess Dark Knight was such a good movie.
Yeah, for me, I always see him as perhaps a phone call could have sufficed. That's a terrible impression. I'm sorry, but that was that whole thing and the Joker pointing him saying, "What did he?" You always know the quote. What does he say about him?
He's like he was like, I could tell the squealers, and this guy, he's a squealer.
Yep. Thank you.
In which he did. He was a squealer, but
yeah.
But yeah, him as Shang Tsung. I almost kind of wish. I get it. You want new cast, you don't want to keep rehashing and bringing old actors. Maybe make a cameo, but like the guy Robin, I forgot his whole name, who played Liu Kang in the original.
His name is Robin Shou.
Robin Shou, yes. And also the guy who played Shang Tsung from the original, he's just so iconic as that role.
Oh yeah, and it's bugging me because I was trying to remember his name. It'll come to me. But yeah, it's hard. It's Cary Tagawa.
Yes,
and he is Shang Tsung. I mean, they even put him in the game. It's so.
Yes, exactly. They put him in the game.
I mean, and
that's how iconic the first movie is.
It is. I mean, you can nitpick it. Like I said, could they have done Raiden better? I mean, it was played by Christopher Lambert of Highlander, and he doesn't really fight. Mm-hmm. He just kind of says, "I don't think so." Mortal Kombat, that whole thing.
But his presence, though, you felt it like, oh, that's a guy you don't want to fuck with. And even he had his moments where he was still comical. Mm-hmm. Like, remember they beat those guys up, and he was like, yeah, we did. He's like, oh, but what about those guys? And then they all came with their knives. He was like, I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
He did. He pulls it off, even though he puts a white wig on. And I mean, for me, if you want to see the real Raiden, watch Big Trouble in Little China. He's in there.
Oh yeah, that was pretty much the inspiration.
It was, and that's what's so cool about the original Mortal Kombat. If you really pay attention, everybody in that game is just like, you just see love of 80s movies and martial arts movies. It's all there. But it looks like now Raiden looks pretty. What'd you think of him?
Oh, he looks. I mean, you only got like quick scenes, but it's the same guy. I'm not even gonna even try to pronounce his name. Tadabadu Asano.
Oh yeah, you said it. That's it.
Oh, perfect. Yes, but he's the guy who
Asano.
played. Yes, he played the one in the Warriors 3 in the Thor movies.
Oh yeah, Hogan.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hogan.
Yes.
Hogan. I don't know. I'm terrible at pronouncing shit. Leave me alone.
Yes.
But-
We're sorry, guys. We're trying our best here. We're not doing it out of spite. We just suck at it. But we
We're just
want to make sure.
bullshitting,
Yeah.
so-
We want to make sure we give them their just dues because it's important to be able to enunciate,
Right.
pronounce these people's names. If I can pronounce Chris, Smith, or even some other type of weird name, I should be at least try my best to pronounce these people's names.
Yeah, but Tanabu Asano is that you can't just say that. Like it doesn't flow off the tongue like certain names like, oh, I don't know, Samuel L. Jackson.
Motherfucker, you better get my name right.
Yep. And that's kids, I challenge you all out there. You can't just say his name without saying his full name. Sam Jackson does not count. It doesn't count.
It doesn't
You
count.
have to say Samuel Jackson.
Exactly. And it's like, imagine if you're on set, you always say, hey, Samuel Jackson. He's like, you can call me Sam. Okay, Samuel Jackson. You can call me Sam or Sammy. Okay, Sammy L. Jackson. No, Sam.
No.
It's like, okay.
Motherfucker.
No, I mean, I'm just going to all right, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, at that point, I think, or is this accepted? Could you say Sam motherfucking Jackson?
Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of wish his middle initial was M, so everybody can make the joke that it stands for motherfucker.
if only if he had the foresight
Yeah, no, right?
of like how much he would have used in his career, and he changed it to
Yeah.
M. Oh
Mhm.
my god! And the M stands for motherfucker.
Yeah. And I still am in a little bit of shock. Like, we all waited, like, we were all wondering, like, how can you have Samuel Jackson, like, in the MCU, right? How do you have him in these movies? And everybody's itching, like, even though it's Marvel and these are superhero movies, that there was a part of us, like, there's just a little slip. And sure enough, they gave it to us.
Mm-hmm.
With the
But
snap.
you know what? Yes. But you also know, just to say this too, the fact that Deadpool will be R-rated, that will be
Oh
the
my
perfect
God.
vehicle for him to say it.
Yes. And that's going to be a whole. Oh, we'll get into that discussion another time. But for now, getting back to Mortal Kombat. Sorry, we go on tangents. It just
I know. I
happens.
just realized we keep going on tangents.
But getting back to this Mortal Kombat. What are you most excited to see? Like, what are you really looking forward to?
Oh, I am looking to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion in all their glory. And all
like,
their
fight each other?
badassery and just not even just fight each other, but just them fighting in general.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm all in. And as you see, it's like I said, tons of fatalities in the trailer. And the only thing is, did you feel? How do I say this? Like, to me, it looks like when I heard that James Wan was attached, like, everything felt better. Because at first, when they were talking about they were going to redo this, a part of me was like, uh-oh.
I mean, when it's James Wan attached, I got excited because James Wan just does, like, it's like almost everything he touches is great. It's gold.
Pretty much. I mean, I've been a fan of his since, God, he started out with Saw. He did the very underrated Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. If you haven't seen that fucking movie.
He was involved in that?
Yeah, that was his. It's unreal. Dead Silence.
I love
So good.
Dead Silence was him too?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, this is why I love you. Because I didn't know he was part of those.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
Death
love
Sentence.
It's
Dude, that's one of
such a
Kevin
gem.
Bacon's most underrated roles. He's so fucking good in it.
So
And
good.
it's so badass.
I know. It is like every time I watch that movie, because I know what's going to happen, I still get chills.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, we won't talk about it here, but that'll be another day. But honestly, buy Death Sentence on Blu-ray or DVD. It's very inexpensive, and it is a goddamn R-rated masterpiece.
Yes. Tragic,
Oh.
but it's great.
Mm-hmm. But then you had James Wan throwing his hat into to DC. He did, Aquaman did great. He's a genius. Everything he does, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me fact check. Is he involved in The Conjuring?
I think so. Yes.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it too. All sorts of shit. This dude has been around, and he's all about quality. As a filmmaker, he's one of my favorites. I love his visual style. He's just fantastic. So for him to be involved, he's not going to just let it just be shitty. And did you see, by the way, the video the cast watched the trailer with the director?
Wait, they watched it? They watched the trailer with the director?
Yeah, and everybody was like happy, like crying. And I saw an interview with Joe Taslim, who plays Sub-Zero, who we talked about. There's a great, I'm going to plug it, I don't care. I don't know the man, I wish I did, I love him. Scott Adkins, the legendary Scott Adkins, a martial arts actor, does this amazing podcast, sort of, I guess it's a podcast, interview show on YouTube called The Art of Action. He does an amazing interview with Joe Taslim, who is very nice and has a very happy personality, which is not at all. Like, my heart and my soul was not ready to see him be all friendly because he looks so mean and badass all the time. But even he was saying, like, that the fights are on point. Like, he's very proud of him, and this is a guy that started out in the raid, so if he's involved too, believe me, he's not a guy that, he doesn't do shitty fight scenes. He's amazing, so I can't wait.
Well, actually, fuck, I gotta listen to that podcast because that just, just those little things are just like, it just adds value. But yeah, I actually, now that you say that, I was like, I kind of wish Scott Adkins was, in this movie. He's like anything I just like, you just love Scott Adkins as a person, as an actor, as a fighter. So it's like,
dude, I've been a fan of his ever since I saw him in Undisputed 2. When he first introduced the character of Boyka, then I saw the movie Ninja, and it just infuriates me that he has never been cast in the role that, to me, he has been born to play as Batman, I think. And you could easily stick him in Mortal Kombat. He could be Johnny Cage. You could do anything, whatever. He could have been Sub-Zero. He's so incredible as a martial artist and an actor. He's phenomenal. But like I said, the man... Go ahead.
No, imagine if he is Johnny Cage. Imagine he's like the surprise end. He's like, hey, guys, I feel like he can be that cocky. He can be that cocky.
He could play anything, man, especially with what he did with Boyka. That's such an underrated role. He's so good as that character. He's such a great actor, and like I said, he was up for Batman v Superman. And I was so happy because, to me, he has the look of Bruce Wayne. He has the acting chops. He can be very intimidating. He looks like Ben Affleck. Like, he looks like he would be Batman. He looks so natural for it. And his martial arts skills are insane. So you could actually have a Batman for the first time ever who's played by a martial artist, so he can do these crazy shit and then stop and look at the camera and see it's not a stunt double.
Exactly. I think that's the best part. Is like he can be, because Bruce Wayne, I guess, is supposed to be mild man, and not mild man, but he's supposed to be like not. I guess he can play a regular guy and then all of a sudden just bust out a fight move in a tuxedo when no one's looking. Like, the most we ever really got was like Christian Bale with that one scene. He was like in Dark Knight, hey, look up, pretty boy. Bang, bang, boom, kept walking, which is still smooth in itself. But imagine if Scott Adkins just like did like an off the wall kick, sweep, and some extra shit, and it's like, and then kept it moving like nothing was going on. Like, that's the Bruce Wayne that we need and deserve.
Yes. Yep. Because you could actually see that, and you could really see how quickly he could like do that, like drop somebody, then go back to being Bruce Wayne, like and could be that like aloof sort of douchebag guy or whatever, and then hurry up and he has the acting chops. And actually, he did an audition. It's when he was filming Expendables 2. He has the mustache. Look for it online. He nails it. He's doing dialogue from Nolan's Batman, and I was like, because it pretty much seems like the only reason he didn't get it is because Ben Affleck, coming off of Argo, Oscar-winning actor, just a much bigger name, wanted to be Batman, so he got shoved to the side. But let's get into it now. First of all, real quick, for those interested, Mortal Kombat hits theaters and HBO Max on April 16th. Also hitting HBO Max is another film that the trailer dropped, and we're about to get into discussion. This is the perfect segue. Speaking of Ben Affleck's Batman, the Snyder Cut of Justice League is finally going to be seen after years of a lot of speculation, and it was, the genesis of it was through tragedy. We'll get into that, but first things first. I mean, but Batman v Superman, yes, it was supposed to be Scott Adkins. Looked like he had it. Ben Affleck put his hat in. Now the man sitting across from me, my favorite superhero is Superman. His favorite is Batman. So let's get into it.
Yes.
Before we start, how do you rate Ben Affleck as Batman?
I will say this. I feel like it's with with us as, comic book nerds, and we want the best depiction of Batman, Bruce Wayne. We had our reservations. We was just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, initially
like,
not excited for me.
Yeah, not excited,
uh-oh.
but not disappointed because we know Ben Affleck's caliber and what he can do, especially like you said, with Argo, with the town and stuff like that. Like he's good when he needs to be good.
Right.
He was apprehensive. But my God, when we saw him in that movie, and what really solidified it was that fight scene. I wish we had more. When we saw him in that warehouse fight scene, at that moment, I was so happy and hopeful for a Batman movie. Just off that scene alone, I was like, yes, I want more. Give me more. Give me more. Because he just brought the pain. He brought the brutality, the physicality. He was wrecking house. That is what... And I think over the years, we're seeing more and more that type. I feel like it also took after Batman, Arkham Knight, Batman, Arkham City, Arkham, like all that. So when we saw him just wreck, he was literally one man versus 20 guys and took them all on and out. I mean, he bust through all of them, just was like ripping. He literally ripped through all of them. And I was like, my God, yes, this is what we need. We need more of this. So, and the way he played Bruce Wayne with the intensity, the ferocity, even like the quiet stoicness and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, I want more of this. I want more of this. Give me more. Give me more. Take my money. Where do I write the check to?
Exactly, and I agree with you because for the first time, unfortunately, this is where I feel as great of a trilogy as Nolan's trilogy is. Please don't get me wrong. They are phenomenal. The Dark Knight is one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. However, my problem with those films as time is going on and showing more and more is Christian Bale, because I'm sorry, but Batman is supposed to be the type of martial arts master who is so nasty and so strong and so fast and so skilled because he's obsessively trained for so long in so many different styles that you can't touch him. He's so nasty that he is the only human being that could stand in the Justice League next to these gods, and everyone's like, yep, cool. And unfortunately, Christian Bale's Batman, you're all going to get mad at me, those of you who love him. Oh well, he can't fight for shit.
Yeah. It's like as much as we praise those movie trilogies, because they were amazing, they was great. Those little caveats, and it's like, I feel like we see that now after seeing Ben Affleck, like now that we look back at it, it's like,
that's Batman. That's how he's supposed to fight.
Yeah, even when we was watching it during this, even when we was watching the movie, we was like, yeah, Batman, we said it ourselves, Batman don't kick a lot, does he? He just kind of uses his hands.
David, he doesn't kick a lot. Every villain in the freaking trilogy kicks the shit out of him. Everybody fucks him up. Everybody. Dogs mess him up too. I mean, it's ridiculous how many people kick his ass in that trilogy.
Yeah.
Because then, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but when it comes down to him squaring off with Bane, which, don't get me wrong, it's a very enjoyable scene, but it's not that surprising to me that Bane beat him so easily because the way he was portrayed, the way he fought, which was not a lot of kicks. I mean, he did okay. It was kind of a cool style. They made it it seemed a little more realistic. I get that. But when you see... Even going back to Michael Keaton, like when Michael Keaton's Batman squared off against that swordsman, right? And that dude just brought ting and he blocked everything and he just dropped him. Like, that is how nasty Batman's supposed to be. It's supposed to be heightened. He's supposed to have this skill level of, you if he wants to, you're not going to touch him. And when he hits you, it's going to hurt. And like you said, I mean, Keaton was great. I love him. And to me, still presence-wise, just him standing there, he has that presence that I don't think's been matched as Batman. But what Ben Affleck did, like you said, he can be very charming, the very charming Bruce Wayne, very dark Batman, especially this version of Batman, who's very pissed off and, you know, he lost Robin. That's the only thing is, okay, all right, going all over the place. There's a lot to talk about. So, but sticking with him for now, we'll start here. I agree with you. He brought the pain, and that's what's odd now. We are getting. He was supposed to go on as Batman. Ben Affleck was supposed to go on as Batman in a solo film when this all started. But that did not happen. He was supposed to direct it. And how amazing would that have been to have a Batman film directed by an Oscar-winning director who's also playing Batman?
Amazing. An Oscar winner? That's the caliber we need for Batman. But I just, I was thinking, cause I don't want to tear down Christian Bale's Batman like he was great. He brought the intensity and everything. I just don't want to tear down him, but it's like, just compared to the scope of all the other Batmans we got, it's like, I feel like because we're older, we hold Michael Keaton at the pinnacle of like, that is Batman, which is the fact that he's being brought back as Batman for the quote unquote last movie that we don't really want.
You know what, David? It's time. It's time. You know what, kids? It's all about Warner Brothers right now. We're getting into this. It's going to get ugly. There's going to be a lot of emotion in this, so get ready. So let's rewind time, shall we, David? Do you mind hitting the flux capacitor? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go back. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, released in 2016. Now 5 years ago, this March. Which was the sequel to Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. This was his movie, Batman v Superman. Did well, but received with a lot of mixed reviews. There are a lot of people that do not like this film. Your thoughts?
Batman v Superman had its issues, but I feel, especially the extended version, kind of explains some more stuff that wasn't said in the original movie. But I feel like, as much criticism as it got, it's still a really decent, solid movie.
Yeah, I don't think it takes too much shit. I think the problem is there's too many storylines shoved in there. I mean, you have the world's
way too many.
You want to go through them real quick?
Do we have time?
Yeah.
They really try to shove every plot point in comic book in there. It's like, whoa. That's like you have 80 plus years of comic book story and you're trying to shove them all in a 2-hour movie?
Not just that. Don't forget, it's Man of Steel 2. It's the world's finest. It's the death of Superman. It's
the formation of the Justice. No, the formation of the Justice League.
Formation Justice League. We got Wonder Woman prequel. I mean, there's
in the beginning,
much.
In the prequel of the. We did say Justice League. I forgot about their cameos. I was actually just thinking about Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. I forgot about the other guys.
Yeah, the part of the movie where the whole movie stops, and what feels like what should have been a post-credit scene just halts the movie. So Wonder Woman sits at a laptop and just watches them. Like, it's so weird.
You could have, like you say, that could have honestly been a post-credit scene, and that would have flowed through and fit perfectly fine.
Yeah, it ruins the pacing. It really kind of... But yes, that's where I get it. I also feel like when we see the Batman stuff, like Robin's dead, I feel like this is a sequel to a movie we never saw, which is very frustrating.
Yeah, that like I like that. I like that little caveat of Robin was, apparently, with the Joker's graffiti all over. It's like, what happened? I want to know more. That might the death of the family. They threw that in there too. It's like, Jesus, man, how many other plot points are you putting in this movie?
Everything is in that movie. Okay, everything is in there, and every DC story like ever. And even technically, when the Flash appears to Bruce Wayne in that vision, could have kind of also shoved in the multiverse, possibly Flashpoint for what we know.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
And then
so
the
much
dream.
shit.
Yeah, and then the other with the nightmare scene. I was like, Jesus, man,
Yeah.
how many? This is so much. And the fact that all those plot points, granted, there was a lot, he used to set up for the next movie. We really didn't get none of them.
No payoff, and this is the problem with DC in general, with Warner Brothers. I'm saying that fucking studio, they unlike the rival studio that they're the reason they watch them too hard. I think Warner Brothers, is too intimidated by Marvel, and they don't have that captain to steer the ship that Marvel has, which is Kevin Feige, someone who has been in the filmmaking side for over 20 years. He knows how to talk to the suits, and he's also a true fan of everything, and he knows what fans want, and he keeps it very steady. Of course, you have artistic freedom, but just remember, these are the rules of this universe. This is the path we're on. We're headed this way. There's no deviating. There's no random movies thrown in. Whereas Warner Bros. DC, oh my God, they just make movies just to make movies. They try to do a universe, but then it just completely collapses on itself. They end up totally fucking up their own timelines, and it's just chaos. And it's so frustrating.
And also too, Kevin Feige was he learned, he was assistant producer or AP,
yes.
or
DP and all, yeah.
In the original X-Men movie. So he I think moved through the ranks based off his knowledge of comic books. So that helped him.
Right.
So he's been there since the beginning, the resurgence, of the comic book movie era.
Right.
So he's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, and that's why he's so rare, because again, he can be on set and talk to directors, and he knows about filmmaking and knows what he's talking about. He can work with screenwriters, and he knows all the comics very well. He knows the universe. He knows the characters. He can talk to them. He can deal with talent. He can deal with the studio. That's a very, very rare talent, and that is severely lacking at Warner Brothers. So as a result, you just have too many cooks in the kitchen, just all over the place decisions being made, not making much sense. And now these films exist in celluloid, and they're going to be around forever. And this is the problem, because they were on a path, like it or not. Batman v Superman followed. Man of Steel, yes, there's too many storylines in there. There's stuff that felt like there's a Batman movie that was supposed to come before this. That probably would have been nice to see. But regardless, what was then to follow was going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. It was supposed to be a trilogy. Started filming for a while. Tragedy struck. He lost his daughter very unexpectedly. Who the hell could blame the guy? Fuck movies, fuck everything. Who cares anymore? I get it.
Yes.
He steps down, and that's when all the stuff behind the scenes started getting weird.
Yeah. Because who did they bring in? The man who helped bring Avengers to the screen, Mr. Joss Whedon.
Yes, proof that you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Because holy shit, what a 180 this guy took. Yes, this is the man who was royalty in the geek community. This is the man that did Serenity, Firefly. The start of Firefly, the show, became the movie Serenity with Nathan Fillion. Very well done. He's had his hand in so many things. Alias, great. It was a show with Jennifer Garner, did very well. And then he did Avengers. He's the one that brought the Avengers to the screen, and Avengers: Age of Ultron. I mean, this man could do no wrong.
No wrong.
Now, but then, so he gets brought on, and in the middle of this, all this chaos going on, no one knows what's going to happen now. This Justice League movie halts. It was supposed to be a trilogy. What's going to happen? Time goes by. Then this is around the time this talk of Affleck directing Batman happened, among the thousand of other projects they announced and never came through with. Just massive amounts of chaos from that studio.
It was just a lot of just little stories. And also, don't forget all the behind it, the reshoots. Every movie does a reshoots. We're not... Yeah. I guess for us, we understand it's part of the process. You look at it, we just do... they plan that out in the budget. They plan out in the schedule. hey, we're going to need to do some reshoots just in case, blah blah blah. You know, people hear reshoots, they're like, oh my god, it wasn't that great. No, it's part of the whole
standard.
thing. It's standard. But and it's like you said, it's happening, blah blah blah. But it's just like the reshoots, and then you hear all the little things that's coming after. Like Henry Cavill couldn't shave his mustache because he was working on Fallout and Mission Impossible Fallout. Side note, an amazing movie. I can watch that movie over and over again. Dude, it's just amazing.
Dude. Say what you want about Tom Cruise. He makes some kick-ass fucking movies, man.
Hell fuck yes.
Genius. But yes, piggybacking off what you just said, what happened then is the decision was made. We are replacing Zack Snyder with Joss Whedon, which I get it. You want, again, so competing with Marvel, so up their ass. You want to grab the guy that brought the Avengers. Okay. But the problem then comes is that now a completely different version happens. It's very similar to what happened with Superman 2 back in the day with Christopher Reeve. Superman 1 directed by Richard Donner. Superman 2 started being directed by Richard Donner. He demanded, he wanted things done right. He wanted to spend money. The producers, the Salkinds, the brothers, they didn't agree with him. So then he let off. Then he is replaced, and it's not good. It's by Richard Lester, totally different director, very hokey, does very weird, cheesy things. You could see it in the movie. There's definitely parts similar to this where there's definitely two different directors, two different styles, and also brought in. There was relighting done to this Justice League movie. There's one-liners thrown in, reshoots, and then yes, because so much time had gone by, Henry Cavill was shooting Mission Impossible Fallout. That's how much time went by. He was in the middle of production, and Paramount refused to have him shave his mustache. So then you get this, they got to reshoot it with him, and then the terrible CGI, the mustache gate, as I call it, that horrible thing. Warner Brothers demanding that the movie only be 2 hours on the dot. So you had this huge movie that was going to be actually a trilogy. Now you just shoved it into this fucking can of 2 hours. And what was the final product, David?
A jumbled mess, to say the least. Ugh. A jumbled mess. And it's just like, the thing is, it was so many red flags that led up to this movie. It wasn't like, all these stories are coming out. They didn't just say reshoots, extensive reshoots. Joss Whedon left the project. Not Joss Whedon. Zack Snyder left the project, and he didn't know why. Then you bring on Joss Whedon. And it's like, it's nothing, I would say for me personally, there's nothing against, bringing another director to, finish the project. But it's Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon from Marvel, like you said, we just gave this man all his accolades from all these Marvel movies. So it's like you're bringing in, just a perception. You're bringing in the competition, Yeah. It's like, and then, like you said, it leads now to that whole thing about Marvel versus DC, the competition. It's like you're always competing with them. You're not trying to be your own, studio. It's like, hey, that's bringing a guy from our rival, Marvel, to finish our movie. And then the mustache, And it's like all these things are leading up to this. And then the caveat is the movie's trailers. The trailer. Like, we watch the trailer. We're like, yes, footage. Great. Yes, we're like, all right, great, all this stuff. When you look at the movie, damn near every scene from the trailers are not in the movie. It's to the point where people, how many blogs, IGN, Screen Rants have done stories about how the trailers are not the same in the movie. All damn near every scene in the trailer is not in the movie.
It's not in the movie.
Granted, we've seen trailers where there's like maybe one or two scenes are not in the movie.
Yeah,
to hype it up. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But this is the entire trailer.
Dude.
The entire trailer is not in the movie.
Yeah, it's like, like I think there's maybe like one scene like that's actually in the theatrical cut. Everything else is like, fooled you, gotcha, bitch.
Yes, gotcha, bitch. Yes, exactly.
But let's talk about the good. Gotta say, with the exception of one, a very solid cast. Henry Cavill, amazing as Superman. Solid. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with him now. He just seems to be doing other great stuff, and time has gone by. We are now, David, going on 8 years since Man of Steel. hit theaters, by the way.
So yes, and they have a wonderful cast. Like we have Man of Steel, granted came out that long ago, but Henry Cavill, Superman, great. Ben Affleck, Batman, great casting.
Phenomenal.
Gal Gadot, great as Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa, perfect as Aquaman. Ezra Miller, we'll skip Ezra Miller.
Yeah, let's talk about Ray Fisher. Yeah, this guy, real quick, I don't know what this dude's endgame is, opening his mouth the way he does. I get if something happened to you, you have every right to speak out, and it seems like I said, Joss Whedon is just, his hole is getting deeper and deeper every day. I'm just being now total scumbag. But that aside, I don't care about all that stuff. Focusing on his performance, Ray Fisher made an amazing cyborg, a character that was only seen on a cartoon.
Yes,
Teen
Titans, go!
I mean, he looked great, and he played the part well.
Yes, he did very well at his job. He did amazing. As I think it was his first movie role. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what it was cut down to in that theatrical cut. Oof, man.
My God.
Because again, you saw the trailer. You saw him like playing football. All these things I thought we were going to get to see the whole, him actually, the whole transformation. No,
none
of that. Didn't get any of that. No. But yes, but there is, again, those cast members are fine. The weakness, David, and where my anger, it's coming. Oh God, I'm getting mad. Now I'm getting pissed. That fucking Ezra Miller. Fuck him. No, the Flash is Grant Gustin. He's been doing it on the CW for many seasons now. I've been watching that show since the goddamn beginning. He's the Flash. You introduced the multiverse on that show. There's no reason he couldn't slipped into a multiverse and it went into the movie. You don't have to go crazy to where he just does this thing and then he goes back. You don't have to bring in any other fucking characters. But no. Or okay, you want to go with another Flash? Fine. How about we get one that doesn't run like a fucking whack job? How about that?
His running was very just, what the fuck is going on? Like, what?
What was that?
And it's just, I don't think I'm mad at Ezra. I don't even know who to be mad at. I'm just mad at the Flash and the portrayal they gave.
I know.
Like, I don't want to be mad at him.
It's terrible.
I don't want to be mad at him.
No.
It's just the way they portrayed him and just... he was the weakest link. It's the fact that, my thing is, you're the Flash. Your only job is to run. Yeah. You've been running for what? How long? Your job is to be fast. Dude. How do you suck at your only job? It's like me. What is the easiest thing we can do? It's like suck at breathing. I can't breathe. Like, that's how bad. I don't like. How do you suck? Every time he was running, how many times has the Flash tripped on his own 2 feet?
Oh my God, his Flash. Every day.
That's how useless his Flash was. Because at the last, he wasn't even in the final battle. His job was, didn't even tell him what his job was. He was just he was supposed to save this village full of people, which, granted, we did not see. This is what, dude, now we're getting into this whole thing about this movie. There was a village full of people. Like, we only focus on this one family. Why? I don't know. But, yes.
That's bullshit.
It didn't matter. This is supposed to be, a village full of people, but we didn't see none of them.
God.
It looked like a ghost town, and we focused on this family. And the fact that he took what? He spent the entire rescue mission, I'm doing quotations here, saving that one family. My man,
why?
Superman came in, fought these people, helped fight the bad guy, and then left. It's like, oh, there's people to be saved. Disappeared and left them. Ezra spent that entire time just to help that one family. Superman comes along and carries a building full of people.
CGI mouth and all. He still carried those people.
Even worse. To make it even worse, you know how useless he was? They had the waste time of him being useless. Remember he went and ran the wrong way?
Oh my God, bro. Like, he's like, comes off very stupid. He's a bitch. Like, he doesn't even know how to throw a punch. But yet, he throws in a little Easter egg of knowing Gorilla Sign Language, meaning Gorilla Grodd, very famous enemy of the Flash. If he's facing that, like on the show, Grant Gustin, he can handle himself. Like, he fights.
God.
Of course, he's the Flash. Like, because we saw him, and it doesn't add up either. If you remember, David, what did the Flash do in the scene that Gal Gadot was watching the monitor, the laptop?
Oh yeah, he helped. What did he do? He pushed that guy, whatever he did, real fast.
Yeah. So you have done it before, and he was like very cool about it. He didn't look panicked.
Yeah, that guy had a gun. That guy had a gun.
Yeah. But now you turn into this whiny, like scared dude. That's like you're like, you have all this power. You can move so fast. They won't even blink by the time you're done. What are you doing?
He was, and that's how useless he was. His job was Batman. Really said, "Hey." He's like, you know what? He just, like, you can't fight. Okay, cool. You can't do whatever as a superhero. You can't even save people. Like, Batman's like, hey, just rescue these people, get them in and out. It took him forever to, like, he would rescue one person, come back, you okay, good, blah, blah, blah. If that was, even if, maybe I'm being a little harsh. If that was me, I would have been using my speed, and I would have been zipping people in and out, like, boom, 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 boom. He was like, boom. Got one person out. Hey, you okay? How was your day? You all right? Was this too much? Was it too fast for you? All right, good. Just exit this way, please. One file. And then go after the next person. I would have been in, out, boom. Like, if I'm that fast.
But that's just it.
Like, he was completely useless in this movie. Even when he, like you said, you tripping over your feet. And then when he, at the end, when he came back after he spent his entire time saving that one family. When he came back, what happened? I forgot, what was the villain's name again?
Shit. Not Darkseid. Oh, it's killing me. God damn it, I gotta look it up. Go ahead. I'm kicking myself. Yeah, everyone, please yell at me.
I'm not yelling because I can't even remember.
I know his name. Go ahead.
Steppenwolf.
Yes, thank you.
Steppenwolf grabbed him and threw him to the side. He was complete. How are you? He was literally useless. He was useless. My God.
And that is not the Flash from the comic. The Flash is super powerful and a badass and very tough, like portrayed beautifully on the show.
That's I think that's also why, because we got such a great Flash on that TV show that when you see that movie, you're just like, the fuck is this? It's like you could even at least do better than that. Like, it's like you can hear it in my voice. You can hear in my voice how frustrated I am. How frustrated we are because you have such a great. Granted, it's like over a TV show, you have a longer period to show how great this. Even from the first season, even from Jump, he was a better Flash than the one we got in the movie. Like, he was completely and utterly useless. So the fact that we are getting a movie on the Flash, it's like, I don't want it. Why? It's like it's like we're not even giving a chance for him to redeem himself. He was that bad that we was like, no, we don't want him. And I feel bad for Ezra Miller because he is actually a really good actor. He is a good guy. But it's like you can't be mad too much at him. It's like at the studio, it's like, this is what the best you can give us. Like,
yeah, that's where that comes into play. That's a very valid point you've made. I'm also going to touch upon that in a second, but just there's something I want to say about that, about who's to pointing fingers, because there's something that just came out, and I want to talk to you about it too. But first things first, nobody, I think collectively, even if you are a fan of Ezra Miller as an actor, you can't really say he did a good job as the Flash. And the effects they use, I feel like he's the slowest Flash to ever live. Am I wrong? Did he look slow to you? Like when he moved and everything, like the way they did the speed effect? It just didn't seem like he's as fast as he should be.
Yeah. I think he should. You know what? I think a great representation of speed, in a sense, is Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. Like, when I think of speed, that's how, at least if the Flash was like moving it, like, make it like that. But like, we also got the slow motion where it still look weird. Granted, when he fought Superman, when him and Superman had, cool. God, that was cool. But he sucked in too. Oh my God, he tripped.
Yes,
he tripped then too. How are you always tripping?
I forgot about that. He tripped and fell down. He's so stupid. It's like, were you just the Flash for one day? David, don't forget, this is the man On his comic book, his number one tagline is the fastest man alive. You are supposed to be so fast
So
that
fast.
again, he has the speed force. He's supposed to be so quick. He can travel through time, through dimension, through multi, and that's what we're getting to in this new movie coming. Oh yeah, there's a Flash movie coming, but even the studio knows he sucks so bad that they're shoving in this randomness, this other shit, including the most shocking one to me is you're bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yay, because I think everyone's wanted to see him come back, but of all the ways he could have come back, he's going to be in this shit box.
Exactly. It's like, he just sucked it. I feel we just like went off on a whole tangent on just this Flash, but it's like it has to be said.
It has to.
He
sucked. The same thing.
We're
gonna get back. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna get back. I don't want to say he sucked, but his portrayal.
I'll say it. I don't care.
His
you don't have to. I'll be the bad guy. I don't give a shit.
Just his portrayal as the Flash was just god awful.
Terrible.
Like who do we blame for that? Do we blame Joss Whedon for that too? Because I feel like a lot of that was probably with him with the reshoots.
Well, I don't know. Well, we'll find out because the Snyder Cut is hitting very soon, and that's going to be very interesting because I'm curious to see, is it really going to be like, it's been a long road because after this, the Justice League theatrical cut, Joss Whedon, even though it's credited to Zack Snyder, it made decent money, but pretty much wasn't, didn't go over very well.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure this is it. We're never after this. We better cherish this pile of shit because this is the only Justice League movie we're gonna get anytime soon. So I was starting to do a thing where, like you try to watch a bad movie and convince yourself like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Because there's not gonna be another one. But then fans started rallying, and there was talk that it started coming out that Snyder shot all this stuff. And that there was a whole other cut of the movie that you could piece together to where, and it was all rumored that it didn't exist, that it did exist, and then there was talk of, then the petitions started going around, it got more and more and more and more and more, and this has taken years for this to happen, and it finally is, and we are now getting, and it was talk about, when it was officially announced, that it's coming to HBO Max, it's going to be, now, interestingly, let me tell you about our lovely Warner Brothers. Let me see how you feel about this, David. Did you know originally they were just going to throw the footage into the movie in black and white and do nothing to it? Like, don't finish it. Don't put a dime into making it look good. They were just going to put it in as is.
I actually want to see a finished product. Like, even if they did, I would have loved it so I can see it. But then again, I'm also, if they would have showed us not finished, you know what I'm thinking about? Remember when the early, yes, exactly.
X-Men Origins. See, I'm right with you. Yep. Yeah, for those that don't remember or weren't around, X-Men Origins Wolverine. It was the first solo Hugh Jackman Wolverine movie. There was a version of it leaked very early and had unfinished effects in it, and some say it hurt the box office because it got pirated so hard.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I watched that. I was just like,
hell yeah. But yeah, they were just going to spit it out. And Zack Snyder, getting back Justice, they were going to do the same thing where it was going to be unfinished effects. And he was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not signing off on that. So they put money behind it. I think I want to say 70 million. I could be wrong. I think it's less. But something like 3,000 effect shots. But interestingly enough, only 4.5 minutes of additional footage shot.
Exactly. So it's like, how much of the... And it's like... And also because after the movie came out, we're getting more and more behind-the-scenes tidbit. Like, there was like, oh, Joss Whedon just did a few... But then when you watch the movie, there's different tones. And then you're also seeing reports about, oh, it was a lot more that Joss Whedon shot.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, and then it's like you said, this whole thing of people rallying behind the Snyder Cut. There's another footage we know is out there, and then you have the actors themselves pushing it, like release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
So it was like, and now that we're getting it, it's like yes, and we're gonna see it in all his glory.
Yep, and that's why, good or bad, it is so important that this happened for a multitude of reasons. And no matter how it turns out, the fact that it's so good, I'm so happy for Zack Snyder because I love him as a filmmaker. I think he puts a comic book image on the screen unlike any other. I think even in Batman v Superman, I think that movie is very underappreciated and very misunderstood because there are moments of that film that are phenomenal, especially visually, so good. And I think he's a genius. I'm very much looking forward to his new stuff, the zombie movie Army of the Dead.
Oh, you saw the trailer? That looked amazing.
No, is it good?
Yes. I wish it was a little bit more, but I'm excited to see it. That's what I think. Okay. I think Zack Snyder is the perfect comic book director. I don't want to put him in
He is.
I don't want to pigeonhole him into like only genre, but like
he's amazing.
He like 300.
Oh my god,
amazing! And he came out. What's that movie with the what's it? Super Punch or
Sucker Punch?
Sucker Punch. And I feel like that's an original idea, but I feel like he could also be the perfect anime director because that movie has so many anime influences where it's just like, why are we not hiring him again for these type of movies? Like, I feel like if he directed Alita, it would have been just like Robert Rodriguez did an amazing job with Alita. Amazing job.
Underrated.
So underrated. He did an amazing job. But if Zack Snyder also did that too, it would have probably been just as amazing as well. I feel like if you know, I think they're trying to make Akira maybe now, make him direct it because I felt like he understands.
He does
he knows how not the feel or the look, but he gets it. That's the best way I can put it. He gets it.
Yeah, and I agree with you 1,000%. And I feel Sucker Punch gets shit on a lot. It does.
Yeah.
Many don't like it. I really can appreciate it for the visuals, the style, and like you said, it's one of those movies that, you know, really, that's a whole nother discussion. Anime transcending to live action film has always been a struggle, but you see samples of it in there where it's like he has massive potential. I agree with you 1,000% for an anime. If you like Alita, so underappreciated, a masterpiece. Definitely the first time I really saw like in a Western movie an anime feel finally kind of, because that's a lot of rough patches in that road, but yeah, I'm with you on that. And I think like getting back to he's such an amazing visual storyteller, and getting his chance after a tragedy struck to finish his product that was supposed to be his, you know, the Donner cut, getting back to Richard Donner, the director of the Chris Reeve Superman, it happened before where, like I said, he left Superman 2, Richard Lester was brought on, and the hybrid cut happened essentially. And it's a great movie. Superman 2 is fantastic, but then people lobbied around, what about this Donner cut? Because there were all these reports of another cut existing. Because Marlon Brando, who played Jor-El, refused to be in it unless it was Richard Donner directing. So when you see Superman 2, the theatrical cut, when Chris Reeve, Superman, goes to the Fortress of Solitude, gives up his powers, he's speaking to his mother. But in the Donner cut, there were these pictures. I remember going crazy over it, seeing pictures of Christopher Reeve and Marlon Brando talking to each other where it's like, what the fuck? Why would you cut that? It's phenomenal. So then 2006, Donner cut comes out. Unfortunately, there were certain scenes that they couldn't finish, but you still got the idea of what it was. And, you know, however you feel about it, the fact that it happened, God was only given a little bit of money to finish, so there's just some stuff where there's a scene with Lois and Clark where it's the screen test, and it's a mixed screen test, so Chris Reeve looks different from shot to shot. But as a Superman fan, I was so happy to just see it, and that's how I feel now. It's so important now, and I know I don't think we're gonna get a sequel, but this is so odd because, quickly touching upon this, not only is Michael Keaton's Batman and Ezra Miller's Flash, Ben Affleck's Batman's in there too, but there's also this Matt Reeves Batman coming with Pattinson. I don't know what's going on, David. I have no clue.
Oh yeah, we have no idea. We're so confused.
The studio just keeps.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually, after seeing the trailer, I'm just like, you know what? I'm excited about this. You know,
What'd you think of the trailer?
I love the trailer.
I agree.
It set my doubts. I was like, you know what? I'm here for it. My doubts have been quailed or been suppressed. Not even suppressed. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like when I first heard it, I already felt like he would do a great Bruce Wayne, like a brooding type of Bruce Wayne, but I wasn't initially sold on the idea of him being Batman. And then when I see the trailer, I'm just like, and I see the environment, the atmosphere, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah.
And very important point about Ben Affleck's Batman in the Joss Whedon cut. I'm sorry, he is not playing the same Batman he played in Batman v Superman. In Batman
not at all.
Superman,
He is phoning it in.
Dude, it was very. I let him rest in peace. God bless him for doing what he did, but it was very Adam West-ish. It felt like he was a little more one-liner-ish, a little cheesy. Definitely the brooding badass from Batman v Superman was not there. So hopefully, I almost know in my heart that that's the Batman. That's one of the pluses that's going to happen for sure. No matter how the movie turns out, good or bad, at least we're going to get that Batman, I feel, in this. The one from Batman v Superman, not this Joss Whedon one where he showed up, threw the suit on, phoned it in and went home.
Yeah, you can tell. Like I said, that's what makes the movie the Justice. That's why I'm so happy that we're getting this Snyder cut, because I feel like it's more wholeheartedly. Because like I said, Ben Affleck's Batman was a highlight of the movie, so it's like when you see the Justice League that came out, it's like, what is this?
Oh, yeah, everything about the theatrical cut. It's got a few moments of I shouldn't. No movie is all bad, and no movie is perfect. So it's not all bad. It's got some moments in there, but it just felt there's so many it just feels like because of the reshoots and the editing down, demanding it to be 2 hours, hurt it too. Because then you get these weird scenes, like when Ben Affleck's Batman, goes to visit Aquaman. The way they cut it in the movie, he goes from being clean shaven to having a full beard. And it feels like a day went by, which is awkward.
Yeah, it's like, clearly I know that, it takes a while to grow a beard that thick. So how long was he traveling?
Right? And he's Batman. Wouldn't he be there, instantly? I mean, just a jet and he's there?
Mm-hmm.
But then he has this beard all of a sudden, and then right away, what does he do to the beard, David?
Shaved it all off.
Why did we need to see that?
Yeah.
But what's interesting, too, is there's a lot of stuff that's coming out more and more as it's getting closer to us. The Snyder Cut is going to be hitting on March 18th, kids. We're right there. It's going to be 4 hours long. There was talk it was going to originally be released in parts. And now it was decided it's going to be one deal, 4 glorious hours.
And you know what? I can't wait to sit down and watch all 4 hours.
Absolutely. I'm going all in.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's going to be, it's just so nice now. I'm happy for the cast. Because again, as a Superman fan my whole life, Christopher Reeve means so much to me. Superman the movie means so much to me. It's one of my all-time favorite, if not the favorite. It's one of the first movies I sat down and watched. And to me, it's very, very hard to replace him. But I feel Henry has that. I think he's amazing. I just don't think, I see how you agree with this, but I don't feel the material he has been given as Superman has really allowed him to shine as Superman. I like the idea. I'm not against, some people are against his rough, tough Superman. A little more Logan than Clark Kent. A little rough, little quick to throw a punch. But if that is how he started to get to the truth, justice, American way Superman, that's very cool. It's like a, rough start, and then he evolves. He sort of grows into the wiser Superman, who knows kindness, all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Granted, when he just started being Superman, he literally just only Superman for a year, a year and a half, 2.
That's it. I mean, technically, if you go by the movie, he's Man of Steel. He's Superman for a day. Then Zod shows up, and he's having a super battle. I mean, like the day after he's officially put on the suit. So he wasn't even Superman. He didn't even establish Clark Kent as his alter ego yet. And that's why the controversy that was about him, all the destruction happening in the city, and him making that quick decision to kill Zod in the moment. People were mad at this, but in the end, that felt to me, if two superpowered beings are beating the shit out of each other in a city, what do you think's going to happen?
Exactly. You have a guy who's a general. You know, he's advanced in warfare, and you have a guy who just found out, who just now accepted his powers.
Yeah,
it's his first day of the job. And it's like, yeah, it's my first day of the job, and you want me to? It's like you just. I say, all right, granted, you just became a firefighter.
Yeah.
Not even that, because firefighters get training. Let's just say you just put on a uniform, and it's like you had to go for like a building fire. What the fuck? You're literally getting thrown in the fire on
like
your
the
first
building,
day.
But it's the building from the raid. Like it's
oh
really
my God.
tall, and there's people fighting each other. So it's like, huh? Yeah, but you got to figure all this out, and any mistake you make now is going to be held against you. Like, plus, realistically, if I don't care how good you are as Superman. Like, if you're getting knocked back and forth, and you have a merciless villain here who's just doesn't give a shit and is gonna, doesn't care about what they do or what they destroy, and you're just trying to keep up, defend yourself. It's, again, this is not an advanced Superman who has the wisdom in the battle the battles under him in the history to where he knows better to do, like, okay, let me try to do this. No, it's all hitting him all at once. Everything is hitting him so fast. And, he's making split decisions as a rookie Superman. So, which is why if he evolved into the more advanced Superman and then carried those consequences with him, I think that makes for an amazing path to get to the place we know, but in a way we didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of sad now because I don't think, even though I'm so happy he's finally the true version of the Justice League Superman he portrayed is being showed, do you think, I mean, Warner Brothers hasn't said shit about what they're doing with him, and time just keeps ticking by. He's not going to be in the Shazam sequel. What do you think? Is he still Superman or no?
I don't know. They're like squandering their opportunities here because Henry Cavill was such. It's like you have these examples of like, no shade to Brandon Routh when he was a great casting for Superman. It's like you have this next. Oh, yeah. You have this next rendition of a great Superman, which is Henry Cavill. Like when you look at Henry Cavill,
yeah.
Am I pronouncing his last name right? Cavill?
Yeah, I think it's Cavill. I think Cavill. I'm not sure. It's one of those.
Henry
two.
Cavill.
Sorry, everybody.
We're just gonna call him Henry.
Yeah, Henry.
Mama
call him Henry. I call him Henry.
Yeah, exactly. He did such. He embodied that Superman. Like he did such an amazing job as Superman.
Yes.
Why are you guys not capitalizing on that? You're just squandering opportunity. We're getting movies we don't want. Like Wonder Woman 2. I want Superman.
Oh yeah, that's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, granted. Okay, I'm not gonna. You know what? I lied. I take that back. After Wonder Woman, the first movie, yes, I want another Wonder Woman 2. It's just that now that I saw this Wonder Woman 2, it's like.
But the one they gave you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. That's another discussion for another day. But yeah, yes. I'm with you, 1000%.
He's like, you're squandering your opportunities here. Like you said, Man of Steel 1 was what, 8 years ago. Then we had Justice League.
8 years. Oh, this July it'll be 8 years.
And how long ago was Justice League? What, 3 years? 4 years?
Yeah, I want to say Well, hold on. Just Batman v Superman came out in 2016. I want to say Justice League did it. Yeah, I think it came out the tail end of 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
And what do we get between them? We got a different Batman movie that they're working on. Like, what are you guys doing? Also, I will say this. I think they put a pause on these movies because they're trying to refigure out what they're doing. And now that we have this Justice League, Zack Snyder coming out, I feel like they're waiting to see how this goes. Yes, because Aquaman was a great movie, and we haven't got another Aquaman movie yet.
Dude,
or not even like
what the hell is that about?
We didn't even get like a hint.
This studio, they get me nuts. Because it's like everybody loves Momoa. Everybody loves Momoa. Everybody's attracted to Momoa. I don't care if you're
Mhm.
straight or not. You're attracted to him, okay?
Exactly.
He's a beautiful man. And honestly, like, what are you doing?
I also
Instead,
think.
Good.
I also think because of the whole thing with Amber Heard and Johnny
Oh,
Depp.
yeah, I forgot about that shit. Yep.
I mean, yeah, because people calling for he lost his job on the Fantastic Beasts. I'm like, damn, Johnny Depp. But I also heard she was just as complicit. She, she uses that whole, oh, woe is me, hit me, blah, 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 all that shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he lost his job, I guess, it'd be equal if she lost her job. Because people are calling for her to lose her job on Aquaman.
Now, I get that, but before that, I'm talking before that. Because Aquaman was what, 2018? That's
Yes.
3 years ago, David. That movie destroyed. And everybody loved it. And no word at all. Like, of course they say, oh yeah, Aquaman 2, but is it coming? Like, this is what's nuts about that. Like, I think it's safe to say everybody loves Henry Cavill as Superman, right? Am I wrong? Okay.
Love him.
You don't say anything about what you're doing with him. He goes off. He does Fallout. He's great in it. He does The Witcher. He destroys. Everything else he's doing great. He shows that he's very good. He's very well liked. And his physique he got for The Witcher, I mean, you had him in that kind of shape. You didn't hurry up and think, oh, and then you had the opportunity to bring him back in Shazam. And Superman shows up, but it's a double. It's wearing his suit. You don't show the face.
Yeah.
And now for the sequel, he's not going to be in it. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, they're just squandering your opportunities, guys. That's all you keep. That's honestly what I keep seeing. You're just squandering your opportunities. And you know what? And we're getting, that we did not ask for?
Everything we didn't ask for from them?
No, but just yes. But the Suicide Squad.
Oh my god, that horse shit. Which is okay, the same cast as the first Suicide Squad, but it's not a sequel.
But it's a soft reboot. It's too many questions. I got too many questions, not enough answers.
You can't do that. No, they can't. David, someone needs to smack them. You can't do this shit. You can't. The movie's only a couple years old. You're not just rebooting it, but you're putting the same people in there and using the same fucking title, man. Come on.
I'm just so confused. I don't know.
You're telling me. And now, let's get into that briefly. So, getting back to the Snyder Cut trailer, we see a certain character from Suicide Squad pop up, and that is Jared Leto's Joker.
Yes.
Arguably, I think one of the most controversial Jokers in terms of he was in Suicide Squad. David Ayer, the director, is also fighting for his cut now, claiming that there are more scenes of him that he too got screwed by Warner Brothers. They edited his movie too much. Yeah. And now we get a peek at a different version of him. He looks different. But let's briefly touch upon, you are the Batman, #1 Batman fan. What do you think? Yeah, because kids get ready. He has kind of a controversial take. All right, David, let's cut the shit. Most people hate Jared Leto's Joker. But you don't. Why?
Because I feel like we did not get we didn't get the full potential. We got like a snippet. Like I see his potential as the Joker. I see where it could be great. It's a different take, a gangster version. It fits. I feel like it fits in that mold. And again, they squandered that opportunity. We didn't get the full potential of what we could have seen.
Right. But visually, I mean, the cool thing, again, from that Batman movie that we've never seen, but all these things in between Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad make me say more like, this, again, it feels like we're getting sequels to something we never saw. It's said that you see that Jared Leto's Joker has a gold grill, essentially meaning the backstory is that Batman punched his teeth out after the Joker killed Robin. Wow. Can we see that?
I actually would love to see that.
Do you think it's in the Snyder Cut?
I hope so. You know what?
I mean,
actually, first, it's probably not. Actually, I don't even know. It would be nice to see that.
I mean, a part of me wants to hurry up and say no. I mean, I think they just got him for the reshoot to have him in the scene he's in, which is kind of a spoiler. It's kind of been put all over the internet. That's kind of a vision of the future, similar to what happened in Batman v Superman. Because another very frustrating thing about the theatrical cut of Justice League is that nightmare Bruce had, which showed Darkseid in the apocalyptic future, and Lois is the key, was dumbed down to that very not well done scene at the end of the movie where she gets out of a cop car, and that's what calms Clark down. That was the key, whereas I don't think that's what Zack Snyder meant.
No. That's clearly, I don't think that's what he meant at all either.
But at least, if not, well, what did you think of seeing him in the trailer? What do you think of the new look? What do you think of him being back?
I loved it. I liked it. I want to see more. I'm telling you, I want to see more of his Joker because I feel like there's such potential there. We're not getting it. But I feel like we squandered opportunity. Zack Snyder saw that. He had a bigger picture, bigger vision. My fault, because that was a different movie he was in. But he saw the potential, and he's like, hey, we can do this.
Now, do you think that David Ayer should get the same thing Snyder got and have his version of Suicide Squad, like have him get the opportunity to finish it and release it? Do you think it's on that same level to where it's worthy of getting that kind of time and money put back into it?
I originally was against it, but now I've been warming up to the idea because now that I'm seeing this, how good this Snyder Cut can be. But it's also, we're also getting now a Suicide Squad sequel, so it's almost like, do we need it?
I want it, David.
My fault. I don't know what this is. I think it's not that we don't need it. It's like I'm on the fence. Like I want to, but is it worth it at this point now? Like if we weren't getting us whatever they're making, I would have been more for it. But now that they already did it and working on it, it's like, do we?
Yeah. No.
I don't know. But I also think like now this kind of opens the floodgate now.
Yeah.
Because like it's like what other movies are people gonna be like? Yeah, we want a director's version. Because you know what? It's because now I'm looking at all the movies we did get a director's cut. Like, what's the movie with Harrison Ford? Blade Runner. How we got a director's cut. We had multiple versions of that.
Multiple versions of that, but that was one of the first.
Yeah, but I think we should maybe like a certain type of standards, like when a studio interferes that bad, where it's just like we need to see what the original, because we know it. Studios want their version. They think they know better. What movie we was watching where the people didn't know? Oh, Wolverine. The Wolverine, where we didn't get that scene of Wolverine in his suit because people didn't know what because the studio was like, oh, people didn't know. What people did you show this to that they didn't? Clearly, you guys are out of touch. Like it's like I think certain movies studios need to just like let they need to find a medium.
Yeah, I know. And just to tell people listening what David's talking about, in the film The Wolverine, the second solo Wolverine movie directed by James Mangold, the same man that did Logan, at the end of the movie, there was a scene where Logan's given this sort of suitcase, and he opens it up, and it's the Wolverine mask and suit, the yellow and brown, I guess you want to say that version. Mm-hmm. And it was tested for audiences, and they said, whoever these assholes were, basically said, we don't know what that is. So rather than just be like, well, they may not know, but the others are going to know. And the fact that what pisses me off that's a whole nother discussion, the 20th Century Fox X-Men universe and all the mistakes they made. They did some things right. Obviously, Hugh Jackman's an incredible Logan, but we never really got to see him as full Wolverine. Yes, he calls himself Wolverine. He puts the claws out. He does his thing, but we never got to see him in the suit with the mask on, and we had that chance. But like what David's talking about, the studio hears this one stupid ass audience, and then you say, nope, we got to cut that scene because they were afraid that people would not know what that was. And like you said, how? And honestly, the second he puts it on in the trailer, yeah, you're gonna know what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. But yes, and also the floodgate has opened. It's funny you say that about filmmakers going back now and fuck with their movies. It was done with Blade Runner, yes. George Lucas did it with the original Star Wars trilogy. Some things that were like, okay, not sure why you did that, but all right. But now there's a bunch of shit going on because you have The Godfather 3, which got its director's cut, which to Godfather fans, if you don't know this, David, 1 and 2, very well loved. 3 did not do well, was not as loved. So now there's a new cut, the Coda. I think it's called Godfather 3 Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone. I think it's on HBO. It is on HBO Max. And they got their chance to redo the movie, and supposedly it's a better cut. And now Sylvester Stallone is releasing Rocky 4, his new version of it that he claims, because if you really look at Rocky 4, it's just like montages in the fight. It does feel like a very short, when you go back and watch it, it does feel like, yeah, you could probably put some stuff in here, but I don't know how that's going to turn out, but it's going all over the place. There's all sorts of things like that happening. So, but yes, but going with what you said, would the average person, do people really give enough of a shit about the Suicide Squad movie to really get behind it like the Snyder Cut?
No, I don't think so. But I think also the narrative behind the Snyder Cut helped it a lot.
Yes.
It sucks as a tragedy. He lost his daughter.
Absolutely.
It's like everything that happened since then was just like downhill battle for them. So it's like,
yes,
I think that worked. In the beginning, it's like, damn, it worked against them. But then the long run, it just happened that it worked for them because we've seen all the trials, all the things they had went through that, stopped them, their shortcomings. Where it's just like, we as the fans was like, yo, we was robbed of a great opportunity. We saw that, and we was like, we felt we was robbed.
No, that's beautifully said, and we were definitely robbed. And again, it wasn't like he just walked away for no reason. It was a horrible, horrible tragedy, and he'll never. I don't know if he'll hear this ever. It's our first episode, but if he's out there, buddy, I'm so sorry. That losing a daughter like that, and the way it happened. You can Google what happened. I'm not going to say it. Very horrible. And I'm amazed the fact that he came back says a lot about him. I wouldn't personally, and it must have been very hard for him too. Like, think about how shitty his life was at that moment. Like, you lose your daughter, and then the movie you're working on, your baby, is now put out on the big screen in this jumbled together, really condensed 2-hour cut, and it's just got butchered. And but I have a question for you, and we'll wrap this up because we're going a little over. But now, this is going to be an interesting discussion. Briefly, so Joss Whedon. Now there's an executive. Did you hear about this? The Warner Brothers executive that spoke out now about Joss Whedon.
No, what did he say?
He said that they saw the cut of Joss Whedon's cut and knew it was a piece of shit before it went in theaters. And it was talking about the rooftop scene with Batman catching the thug, the family that the Flash went after, all this shit. But and now the finger, and all around the finger being pointed so hard at Joss Whedon. And don't get me wrong, whatever he's doing, I know Charisma Carpenter came out, Ray Fisher. If he is the scumbag they say he is, he deserves whatever he gets. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But I will say this. I don't think it's fair that he is being blamed so hard for how the theatrical cut of Justice League came, because there is a studio behind this. He's not shooting this shit in secret. And it's just like with Rian Johnson and The Last Jedi. His guy took such a beating, and they all pointed the finger at him for The Last Jedi not being great and the changes he made. But in a studio film, David, maybe you should explain it to people. This isn't an independent thing.
Oh,
You're
no,
not just
you got
doing...
Yeah, exactly. When you have people like producers, people, if you like, I get it in a sense. Like, if I'm giving you money to make a film, like to make your vision, I'm
Right.
giving you the money. I'm financing, so I want to make sure I get my investment back. I'm making sure, hey,
Yes.
I just gave you. This is not like $100. It's like I'm giving you millions of dollars. Like, hey, of course I'm going to
Right.
be on your ass a little bit. Like, hey, what's going on? Ooh, I don't like
Yeah.
how this is going. It's not like you can almost. It's not like you can almost say, David, I'm gonna do it my way. You know because I'm
No,
giving
it
you the
doesn't
money to
happen.
do it, but you got to answer almost to me.
Right. And because originally, I think a part of me feels because there was a lot of drama that went on behind the scenes that we're never going to know.
Mm-hmm.
But originally, I do remember reading, I could swear I read it, that the studio was not digging Zack Snyder's dark vision. And
Oh,
part
yeah.
of why they hired Joss Whedon was to lighten it up.
And
So,
also because I
go
think
ahead.
no, I think because the dark tones of Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and
They got
Justice
pissed
League.
at that.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then you had the lukewarm reception of the Suicide Squad. It's like
Mm-hmm.
ooh, we're panicking. Okay, we gotta. What's going on? Oh shit, we gotta fix this. So I think I sucked. Like I said, it's the tragedy that happened with his family. I felt like maybe the studio saw this opportunity. They brought Josh Whedon in because they know he's a funny guy. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
they I feel like they picked him purposely for that reason. Hey, we know you're good with lighting up the mood. Can you just do this with this movie? This yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They took that opportunity and
Yeah.
used it.
Yeah. Because they've done this before, David. This is why I say I wouldn't point the finger 100% at Joss Whedon. Because look, coming on to a movie that's already been shot pretty much all together,
Mm-hmm.
a different director, you're hired on, you got to finish it. And like you said, obviously they're bringing him on to lighten it up because Batman v Superman is very dark. It made money, but it wasn't as well received as they thought. Then you had Suicide Squad, very much on the dark side, did not perform the way they thought. So then they see now Snyder's been banging out this cut, and it's kind of seen as a dark thing. So just like they did when Tim Burton's Batman made all that money. Then Batman Returns came and it was way darker, way darker. They get rid of Burton, bring on Joel Schumacher, who infamously gets blamed for ruining the Batman franchise. And then you get Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super light, super friendly. But that was not him. That was the studio that made that decision, wanted to lighten up so they could sell toys. So Joel Schumacher is a phenomenal, rest in peace, phenomenal filmmaker. The man made The Lost Boys. He knows how to do dark, and and he wanted to do it. After Batman, he's like, you know what? Actually, I want to do it. After Batman and Robin, shit the
Mm-hmm.
bed and everything else, and he wanted a shot to do it the right way, and they said no. And that man took a lot of shit over the years. George Clooney took a lot of shit over the years. It is neither of their fault. It was Warner Brothers that did that. They
Mm-hmm.
made that decision. Just like with a big studio, just like with Rian Johnson, Last Jedi, he didn't. Trust me, that Rian Johnson's no Steven Spielberg. He's not getting Final Cut. I guarantee you.
Oh,
The
no,
studio
yeah.
hires these people. They sit with them. There is time put into this. They know what they're going to shoot. It's not a mystery. So to point the finger at Joss Whedon and say, "Oh, his cut's a pile of shit because of this scene." Dude, you knew those scenes were being shot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You knew they were put together. Actors were hired. Sets were built. Green screens were put up. Actors were thrown in the suits. Don't give me that shit. I look, as much as Joss Whedon may not be the nicest guy, obviously more and more stories are coming out about his reputation and things he's done to actors on set and whatever. That's a whole nother issue. But I'm speaking specifically of him with Justice League as a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's fair to put the blame on him for how that final product turned out.
Oh yeah, that I agree with you. That's definitely true. I definitely agree with you. Because again, it's like, and remember we heard like the studio wanted Justice League, or was it Justice League or Batman? They wanted it out so they can get their bonuses. Like they just care about the money.
Yeah, that's why they hurried up and got it out the time they did, and hurried up, got out 2 hours. Yeah, that's another. Look that up, kids. Go look at why they rushed it out in that November. That's when it came out. Because as a result, because they hit a timeline on schedule, they all got bonuses. So it was just to fill their pockets. So again, the rushing of it, the decision to make it 2 hours, the horrible CGI on Henry Cavill's face, all that rushing shit just to turn this thing out is not the fault of Joss Whedon.
Yes. He gets a little bit of blame, but I would, like you said, the bulk of it is definitely on the studio.
Yes. Yep. But all I know is, David, regardless, I can't wait to see it. And I'm very much all in. So, yes, my question to you is now, wrapping up our Snyder Cut DC discussion is, let's say this does well. Let's say it kills. Let's say it does everything right that it's supposed to do. And everybody gets excited again for this cast. Do we get a Justice League 2?
Do we get a Justice League 2? I don't know. I want to see how this goes. I want to see their direction of how this is.
Yeah, because again, they're so all over the place with what they're doing, because now where you've essentially painted yourself in a corner is now, if this does well, right? This is where I'm so confused. I'm assuming that with this new Ezra Miller movie that they're obviously introducing the multiverse, and I guess in a way that's how they could explain. You could technically, I don't think it's a good idea, but you could technically make, like, keep going with your Affleck Batman, keep going with your Pattinson, but that's just going to be too much. I think it's going to be oversaturation, which is why I look at the studio like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, are you trying to ruin Batman? Because it just feels like, you're going to have Keaton's Batman, Affleck's Batman in this Ezra Miller world. Then you're going to have this whole nother universe with Pattinson's Batman, Matt Reeves' Batman. And it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so confusing. But like I said, we'll see. Let's see how this comes out, and then we can see the direction that they are going, because they're just all over the place. I think that's why they haven't put out anything new, because they want to see how this goes.
Yeah, well, hopefully it turns out well. I wish it nothing but the best. You and I will definitely be there, and all of you should better be there too. Good or bad, like I said, support this. It's very important from a filmmaking standpoint, from a fan standpoint. It is so crucial that this does well, that it gets the support it needs, so that in the future, studios will understand. Don't just do shit that you think you can do just because you can. Listen to your audience. Give your audience what you want. You should be making things with the mind of, all right, you want to take liberties, you want to take chances. That's, of course, brilliant filmmaking, but always remember, these characters have been around a long time. They're very beloved, and if you're going to do it right, and pay attention to what fans want. Don't ignore them and just be like, oh, you're going to get this. And you're like, thanks. But anyway, it's going to be coming to not to theaters, just to HBO Max on March 18th. The beauty of it is you're not going to have to pay extra for it, just subscription only, and you're in. So if you're not subscribed, I'm not promoting that you get a 30-day free trial, and then you can just bail out afterwards, but that's an option.
Yes, or if you know someone, who has the password to their, Verizon or whatever account, which I have because of my mom, do that too.
Listen to our cheap asses telling people to find ways around it without paying. Bullshit. Come on, pay.
I mean,
pay
listen.
Yeah.
Netflix knows that people share their accounts. Hulu, they purposely have different profiles for this, so they know.
Yes. So we're all in for that. And real quick, by the way, the second that Steelbook is available, I'm buying it.
Oh my God. Just imagine how it's going to be glorious. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's just like there's also, you are aware that there's the remastered, they released the cover art for the Blu-ray of the remastered Batman v Superman.
They did. Well,
they did.
I know
that's
why.
Coming too.
I need to find out what that is.
But that's on the way, and because that's what we're all about here, physical media. Grab that Blu-ray. You know you're going to want it. Yeah, it's cool to have it on HBO Max, but I can't wait to see the special features. I hope they go deep. I want to hear the whole conversation. You imagine if they did a documentary on that, they won't. But if they actually did it to where you actually find out what happened, Oh my god. Behind the
I
scenes.
feel like if Zack Snyder was smart, he probably has this footage and he can put it together and just like the real truth of the Justice League.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, you give me for a 4-hour commentary track of him, I'm in.
Oh yeah, I'm watching. I'm listening.
Oh, lastly, before we move on, supposed to be a cameo, a superhero cameo. Who do you think that's going to be at the end of the movie?
I want to say, because the thing is, they were saying there was a couple Green Lantern. They also said the general.
Ryan Reynolds denied it. Ryan Reynolds denied that it's him. He did come out and say he is not. His Green Lantern is not in there. It doesn't mean that Green Lantern is not a possibility, but I just want to say he came out and said it's not him.
Also, the guy, the general from Man of Steel, it was Martian Manhunter. He wanted him to be Martian Manhunter, which I'm like, oh yes. So honestly,
he's in the movie.
He's in the movie, so he can still pop up. I mean,
you think he's the cameo? You think it's going to be him just morphing into Martian Manhunter?
I hope so.
Because he's definitely going to be Martian Manhunter in it. It's pretty much been said. But I just wonder, is that going to be what he's talking about? Or, because originally when the whole thing was going to be that when Clark talks to Alfred, if I'm not mistaken, when Superman lands, that's supposedly... I think that's the scene where he was actually talking to Green Lantern. When it was originally shot. Like, there was a green light.
I remember you
said Kevin Smith told the story. Yeah, so could it be Green Lantern, David?
I hope so. I still hope that Ryan I can't pronounce his name. Ryan Reynolds shows up and just makes a quick quip just for the heck of it, which would be pretty funny.
It would be, but I think my only problem with that is that then it's like it'll be funny for a second, but then it's going to be disappointing because his Green Lantern was not great, and it would be nice to see like a cool, like full out done right Green Lantern would be, I think, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter, very quickly, who do you think the cameo is? If it's not them.
Who haven't we seen yet? Supergirl.
By the way, what am I doing here? That's another thing. Because, yes, if you recall in Man of Steel, when Clark sort of goes looking for his ship in the Arctic, and Lois is there, and she follows him, and he uses heat vision. If you remember, there is a space sort of pod that's open, and it's kind of quickly glossed over that there was somebody in it that's supposed to have been Supergirl.
Yep.
But that is not going to be... This is why it's so confusing, this damn fucking universe. But it's not... This Supergirl that's just been cast, who's going to be in Ezra Miller's Flash movie, in addition to Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, is... And please forgive me for destroying this girl's name, Sasha Calle, C-A-L-L-E, Cal, is it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I mean, she's got dark hair, dark eyebrows. I'm not sure if they're going to Jessica Alba that shit in Fantastic Four and make her go blonde. She kind of looks like her a little bit. Not my choice, not who I would think would be Supergirl, but who the hell am I? My question is, do you think this will be... Because she's very young. Do you think this is supposed to be the Supergirl from the Man of Steel?
Maybe. I would say yes. I mean, if they're smart, maybe just tie it all together, like... Just...
Yeah. Or is she a Supergirl from another universe?
I think they should not mess with the whole universe name just yet, because with
They
Marvel,
are.
that shit is just confusing.
But that's where Keaton and Affleck are coming in. They're going into the multiverse, and that's why they're going to be in there.
The multiverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Affleck is in Ezra Miller's world, obviously. But, Keaton's going to come, which they did beautifully on the CW, the multiverse, and it showed that nod to Keaton's universe and all this cool shit. They did it so great. And it was so nice to see Brandon Routh quickly getting a chance to play Superman again with the Kingdom Come suit on. He's such a good Superman. Superman Returns was a horrible movie. He did not. It's not his fault. He didn't, and it got taken from him, and that was not his fault. So to see him get another shot, to me, him and Henry, they're both amazing. He's just as good, I think. So either way, either one of them, I think fans would love it. Yeah. Obviously, Henry got they both got screwed. I feel bad for both of them. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what's coming. But any closing thoughts, David?
Closing thoughts, I would say I'm just happy that we're just getting the Snyder cut out of everything. Yep. After the whole drama, I am so happy that we are getting this movie.
Yep.
We deserve it.
This is the Justice League movie we deserve. Yes, we need.
We deserve it all. We worked hard for it.
But it's going to be awesome. And do you know why?
Because I'm Batman.
Chills up and down my spine. And with that, we are wrapping up that discussion. We are going to be wrapping this episode up. But at the end of every episode, each and every week, we are going to do the physical media recommendation, which is both David and I have picked out a piece of physical media. That's right, kids. A movie, TV show, whatever, in physical form. And we are going to recommend it to you, and we're going to tell you why. So to start off, I'm throwing it over to this adorable man, David Coy.
Well, we're going to go with my movie. It's a great cinematic masterpiece. At least I believe so. And I believe you as well. It is Ex Machina, which is visually gorgeous. It is. Story is beautiful. Stars Oscar Isaac. Yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
Yes. And I always mispronounce this guy's name.
It happens.
Yeah, Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah.
And Alicia Vikander.
Vikander, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Like it is a gorgeous movie, and it's like I would say it's about pretty much artificial intelligence, and it's pretty much Oscar Isaac plays like I would say a combination of Steve Jobs with Tesla with God, I am sucking at names today. What's the guy who runs Tesla?
Oh Christ. It doesn't matter. Google him.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, it doesn't matter. Google him. But it's pretty much he just running this tech company, and he uses this guy Gleason to like pretty much test out his AI and see if it can pass as human. And it's just like a bunch of deep questions about what is life, what is humanity, testing, AI. It's just like, is this real? Would it pass for real? Will you fall for this? And it's just very visually gorgeous and just ask a lot of deep questions. It's just a really good movie. And it's like the twist ending. It's not even, I wouldn't even say a twist ending, but the ending is just wow.
Oh, yeah.
But I would just I would just recommend it because one is visually gorgeous. Who doesn't like a good looking movie? Mm-hmm. Like I think it won VFX for the Oscar that year.
2014, yes.
Yes, the Academy Awards for that. And the storyline is just really good itself. Like it keeps you on this not want to say edge, but you have to watch and pay attention. It's like what's going to happen. You dive deeper into like what is going on. It sucks you in.
Yeah, you don't know where that movie's going, and it's a small movie, but it's so polished, and every shot counts. Mm-hmm. That's what I love. Alex Garland, who wrote and directed, it's a masterpiece. It's CGI used the way it should be used as an enhancement. Instead of being overdone as certain studios tend to use. This is how it's done right. And the movie deserves its Oscar. It's so much fun, too. Talk about rewatchability as well, because it's true. It's a mystery. You don't know what to expect. And then when you go back, it's so much fun to kind of peek at, oh, okay, it was here, Mm-hmm. And Alicia Vikander as Ava. What a character, man! Like what a turn at the end that you don't see coming.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's so brilliant.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And just a she's the new Laura Croft. If you do not know.
Yeah. in that movie that I don't think anybody really did. It do well? I don't think it did
It
well.
did okay. It was good enough that I think it's
Right.
coming out with a sequel.
Yeah, I guess. But I think to me, she's sure she did fine. I didn't really see it, but and if you like it, awesome. Hey, listen, in general, if we talk about something that we don't like and you like it, it's all good. It's all good. You can
It's
like
all
it.
good
It's
and
fine.
good.
You won't like what we like. But hey, we love you. Relax. But yes, Alicia Vikander, this role to me shows she is a kick-ass actress. Like she's very good, and this very again, this movie is so odd because it feels small at times, but it's a small cast. But man, it's again beautifully shot. Effects are flawless.
Flawless.
So, but why? But why the physical media, David? Why should someone listening right now own Ex Machina? What would you say on DVD, Blu-ray? Which one?
Oh, one, because it's such a gorgeous movie. I love behind the scenes, so I would recommend it so you can get the commentary and see how it is made, how they did the visual effects to make it look so realistic. I just feel like, yes, the making of the movie enhances it as well.
Yeah.
So like, and it's like you can't get that on streaming. You can't, get that. It's just something about seeing how it is made, because like I said, watching it, it's like, how did they do this? How did they, like, this woman is like an android or AI, but you can see like through her arm, her body, her skull, and you're just like, how did they do this? And it's like I said, for me, I want to know.
Me too. We gotta know this shit, man. Come on, we're film nerds. Like, if you love film, again, one of the best things about, if you're an aspiring filmmaker, if you love film and you're curious about it, commentary is like hanging out with the director and watching the movie with him. And I found so many things out, even about movies I've seen 1,000 times and read trivia online and know backwards. I've listened to commentary and been blown away at what I've heard. And again, and also the picture telling you also, because Ex Machina on Blu-ray looks phenomenal, and there is a 4K version of it. There ain't nothing you're gonna find on streaming that looks that smooth.
Nothing that smooth.
Ooh, can you do that again? That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Nothing that smooth.
Thank you. Ooh, chills.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, and it's available at a very low rate on Amazon, on Best Buy. Very easy to find. I mean, do yourself a favor, kids. This is a movie you want in your collection.
Yes. You need this. You want this. You need to have it.
That's right. And so there you have it, kids. That was David Coy's recommendation of Ex Machina. Mine, David, because Ex Machina is definitely a mindfucking. Stay tuned next week, kids. We're definitely going to get into mindfuck movies. Little teaser. But mine also falls under that. It is the beautifully directed, legendary horror sci-fi flick, The Thing, directed by the one and only John Carpenter.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. What I am recommending is the Scream Factory version. I have the Steelbook. It's got beautiful art on it. But Scream Factory, Shout Factory does phenomenal work with Blu-rays unlike any other for horror, especially if you are a fan. If you don't have these in your collection, what the fuck are you doing? Because just this one alone, David, this is a 3-disc Steelbook. The first disc has a 4K scan of the feature film. Disc 2 has a 2K scan. Actually, the 2K scan was approved by director of photography Dean Cundy. You have tons. There's 3 discs here. 2 discs are special features here, essentially. The second disc, of course, also having a 2K version. But in the end, you have commentary with director of photography Dean Cundy. You have legendary producer Stuart Cohen on there. You have John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, David, talking about The Thing together. Come on, man. Like, seriously.
You got all the good stuff.
Yeah, you get featurettes with new interviews, including Keith David, the legendary Keith David, who David here had the pleasure of seeing in person. Can you tell that story real quick?
Oh man, that man is a living. He's like he was. I think you expect like an older pimp who's like been in the game. He's just so smooth.
Yeah. But you didn't just see him. Who was he with?
Was it Billy Duke? I think it was Bill Duke.
Yeah, kids. David Coy here. Where were they both at?
In a barbershop, just a random barbershop. Also,
he was just walking by.
I was with my friend and he was filming. I just happened to be with him and he was filming. I was like, oh, wow. And he was like, I actually was, asked me a question. I was talking to them for a quick second, but I think, Duke had this huge gold line ring, and I was just like,
oh, as he should.
I was just like, oh, wow, okay.
And did you talk to either one of them?
Oh, yeah. It was like a quick question. It's like, they was asking, like, about college. Like, how do you feel about this? And I, me and my friend gave our perspective, but.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, guess what then? That means David Coy has met not one, but two people involved with the thing, because both David and I, back in 2018, had the pleasure of meeting and taking a picture with John Carpenter.
Yes.
He was actually at this convention called Monster Mania, which takes place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, actually right next to Haddonfield, New Jersey, where Deborah Hill, the co-creator of Halloween, the partner of John Carpenter, his ex-wife, rest in peace, Deborah Hill, that's the Haddonfield in the movie. That's where it's based. So to have met John Carpenter that close to the real Haddonfield, it was a hell of a day, right? It was crazy. But Monster Mania is this great convention. If you're a horror fan, what's great about it is it's not in a big convention center. It's like in a nice, sort of intimate, very clean, very nice hotel. There's an intimacy to it that, even though it's gotten way popular over the years, it hasn't lost that charm. And
not at all.
Yeah, we stood in line for how long, David?
Oh my God, I don't even know how long. It's to the point where I was just like, me, just my sleepy self was just falling asleep everywhere.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, I'm just so tired.
This is true. David will fall asleep anywhere, and I'm not saying that to be funny. He will fall asleep anywhere. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make a fucking reality show of you, and it's gonna be simple. Audience members are gonna say, I'm gonna say, where do you think he won't fall asleep? And if anybody finds a place where you won't, they win. But nobody's going to win. I have seen him fall asleep standing in line, sitting down, on a train, and another story I'm saving for another time. Oh my God, your New York Comic Con sleep story is phenomenal. That's a teaser. No, we'll tell next week. Tease it. But anyway, regardless, we met John Carpenter after a long wait. And David, was it worth it?
Yes, it was. It was worth every moment, every bit.
He was, I gotta admit, he is my favorite director of all time. I really was worried that he was going to be a dick. He looks like he doesn't look like he smiles very much. I've been a fan of his, and he doesn't really smile. But he always seemed cool in interviews, but it just was that, could he be mean? But man, I'm telling you right now, he is the total opposite of that. He is so cool. So nice.
So, yes, he was like, and he gave us like a little wink. So I was like,
we got wait.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this guy is so cool. He was just like it was funny. He was literally a sweetheart.
He was. And let me tell you something, folks. Yes, he's best known for Halloween. He created that franchise. It's very synonymous with him, and he has directed some amazing films. When he partners with Kurt Russell, it's unlike any other, but of course he's done, you name it. You have They Live, you have Big Trouble in Little China, you have Escape from New York, and Christine, which is, I love Christine so much. And so many more. The man's a genius, and he writes it himself, he scores it himself. He makes these unique films unlike anything else out there, and they exist in and of themselves, and it's so brilliant. So fucking brilliant. But his masterpiece, though, as director, Halloween's amazing. What he did with low budget, it's unreal. But his masterpiece is got to be The Thing. And no better way to have it, especially because you had such amazing people with him. Like I said, Stuart Gordon producing. You have also the legendary Rob Bottin doing unbelievable makeup effects. And that, they still hold up, David, because they're physical.
Yes.
They're practical. No CGI in this movie. It's in your face, and it's fucking wild.
And I think what also adds to it is, like you say, it still holds up to this day. And because of that, it's so creepy, too. It's like it's literally creepy.
It's very creepy. Like, and it's so brilliantly done. It plays on so many things in terms of this group is together in the middle of the Antarctica, and it's so well done because this alien entity hops from body to body. It completely takes you over. It like replicates you essentially. It can act and talk and knows your memories. So much paranoia to where you don't know who's the thing is, and it has an open-ended ending that keeps you guessing. Brilliant fucking performances all around that also sells the scares. It's oh my god. It's just, I can't say enough about it. It's so good. And especially on a cold, snowy day. Yeah. It's the thing. So check it out. Scream Factory. You cannot go wrong. So many special features. And it looks beautiful, the Steelbook. And even if you don't want the Steelbook, their standard Blu-ray of it is phenomenal. It has reversible art. Dude, what are you doing? If you're going to own the thing, do it right.
Exactly.
And with that, kids, I think it's safe to say we have hit the end of our first episode. I know it ran a little long, but hey, it's a pilot. We can do that, right, David?
Yeah, I'm glad you guys sat here and rocked out with us for so long. Because I know we went on tangent and on tangent. We had more we wanted to talk about, but my God, we get in our moments.
Yeah, but please let us know what you think. Please comment below if you like what you heard. Like, subscribe, tell people. We want to stick around. We want to keep doing this. Our goal is to grow. We want this right now. It's just audio. We eventually want to get visual. We're going to get an actual video store behind us that we're going to actually be in. You know, right now it's just, you know, via audio only, but we're going to get there. But we need your help. So please support us, like, subscribe, and come back because we fucking love you.
Yes, we love you guys. Group hug.
And also, very quickly, the gentleman across from me is a brilliant photographer. If you live in the tri-state area and you're looking for a photographer, go no further than David fucking Coy. Go to farfromcoy.com. He has done phenomenal work over the years. I have seen him work on photos. Nobody works harder. Nobody puts more time and detail in. You would be an idiot to go with anybody else. Not that I'm saying anybody else is. I'm not judging you, but hey, come on. farfromcoy.com.
There it is. Thank you.
And do you want to tell anybody anything about your photography, about yourself real quick?
Let's keep it brief. Real quick, I would just definitely say, definitely focusing on headshots and beauty. I mean, I've been doing it for a while, I'm all about, getting better and better each day, improving each day, giving my clients the best photos I can possibly give. That's pretty much it. I just like photography. I want to give, the best I can give.
And I got to say, from witnessing it firsthand, he has an amazing demeanor with people. As you can see, he's a very laid-back dude. He makes people feel comfortable. Again, if you want to have someone professional who's going to deliver the quality and give you a fair price, he will do no better than David Coy, my best friend, my brother. And I want to thank you, David Coy, for doing this with me. I hope we can do this journey for a long time.
Thank you. We're going to be doing this for a while. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it great. So, like I said, enjoy this ride with us, people, because it's only going to get better from here.
So, with that, we are wrapping up the first episode of the Video Store Bad Boys. Again, join us again next week. We're going to dive into Marvel. We're going to get into mindfucks. It's going to be a great time. More tangents, more silliness, more anger. And in closing, David, could you do me a favor?
Yes, Jonathan, anything.
I just wondered, could you tell the people what killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age!
The Video Store Bad Boys podcast is a double pop collar production. Be on the lookout for the Video Store Bad Boys on all of your favorite social media platforms. If you like what you heard, like and subscribe. The Video Store Bad Boys will return next week.
Bye.